ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Flatout Racing Network's coverage of tonight's Talladega Nights Mega Team event. The last time that a Mega Team event will be run under the Talladega Nights moniker. If you're new to this, 4 heat races, 1 big main event, and we've got 9 teams, 4 drivers each that are getting ready to take to the track, see who can accumulate the most points and claim team champions. I'm Seth Cole, being joined as always by Jessica Shelton. And Jess, we talked about a main point last time that we hosted one of these events, and it was about the emphasis on clean racing. There were going to be points penalties handed out if you caused incidents. And, while we try and visually figure out who of the teams have the best finishes and everything, I think at the end of the night, we thought it was going to be I'm on Fire Pontiacs that were going to win the championship. However, it ended up being the Good Wrench Chevrolets, and the main reason they won the championship that night was because they had 0 incident points against them. You gotta think that's gonna be a huge point of emphasis for the drivers and teams here tonight, realizing that that is almost a golden ticket into winning this thing.
Absolutely. I mean, they really got to pay attention. And we saw last time how they started out nice and slow, and then later on in the whole event, they started getting a little bit more aggressive, and then that big main event, they got really, really fun and really hectic that we saw. And Seth, I'm looking at this field now. We got the multi-time winner back, Alex Moe. But get this, we've got Grant Wesley in the field. We have a whole bunch of other drivers in the field. We've got Outlaws back. CCR Jax is back. Seth, Rodney's here this time, so it's going to be kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, Rodney Sullivan's on Team Good Wrench, along with some defending winners from the last time out, Robert Breedlove, Ken Roberts, and Greg Palmer. So we'll see if they can. I believe they're looking for their 3rd team championship as far as that particular team, not necessarily all those drivers, because remember, a couple of these mega team events, the Hearst Black Chevrolets that then translated over to the Good Wrench Chevrolets ended up winning a team championship as well. So we'll see if they can get their 3rd here of these mega team events.
Oh, Bob Seminara, Dottie Garrett,
yeah,
they made the field too tonight.
Yeah, we had Team Wolfpack last time. They've now been replaced by Team Shake and Bake, so you'll see some purple cars out on the racetrack in this one.
Purple. All right, so now what we're talking about was how they have to drive more cleanly, more carefully. We've seen some of these drivers from other series, so clean, Seth. Clean is the key tonight. But we know from the other series how aggressive these guys are, so this is going to be kind of interesting. Chuck McClure was supposed to be in the field tonight, unfortunately could not. So what is that going to do to the mentality of the fact that Chuck was supposed to be on a team, and now they have to fill that spot with someone else?
Yeah, I don't think they're even having somebody fill in the slot. Chuck was going to be with Team Pennzoil, including Kelly Causey, Mike Mangialotti, RJ Caban. If I remember correctly, if a team does not have a driver able to show up, they end up getting a certain minimum of points to be able to help that other team still be competitive. But it will be a bit of a deficit for Team Pennzoil here tonight. We'll see how they're able to combat it. Also, a little point of note as well. I don't know how much this holds as far as statistically, but if we go back to the last mega team race, it was Greg Palmer who won the season opener, or the race opener at this racetrack, and eventually his team went on to win the championship. So maybe setting the tone early might be something that helped drivers and their respective teams be in the hunt for that championship at the Superspeedway Talladega Nights at the end of the evening. I believe that we are moments away from driver introductions here for the 35 drivers that are going to be taking the green flag here this evening. So I believe we will be getting in touch here with Jeffrey Elliott. He'll be getting us up there with the drivers and introducing those that will be taking part in tonight's mega team event.
You were moved.
All right. Getting set here tonight for another great evening of racing, and these are the drivers that are going to be taken to the track in the heat race, the big main event here, in the hopes of claiming team champions.
Alex Moe, Southern California, driving the number 0 Team I'm on Fire Pontiac Firebird. Rest in peace, Bobby Allison, Talladega gang.
Number 2, Josh Slocum, Western New York, and the I'm on Fire Pontiac. Good luck, everybody, and thanks, Jeffrey, and all the admins. Appreciate this.
Mark Pagley from Gainesville, Georgia, driving the number 3 I'm on Fire Pontiac. Good luck, everybody.
Grant Wesley driving the number 01 I'm on Fire Trans Am from Princeton, Indiana.
Driving number 10, Team Dark Horse, Robert Jackson, Champaign, Illinois. Good luck, everybody.
Driving the number 11, Outlaw, Doug Firth, Sarnia, Ontario.
Number 12, Stephen, Ontario, Canada.
Driving the 13, Team Dark Horse, Adam Simonic out of Urbana, Illinois. Team Wolfpack, good luck, everybody. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Driving the number 20, Red Hellcat Dodge, hailing from North Springfield, Vermont, the team captain, Rod Weston.
Randy Waugh from Huntsville, Alabama, driving number 21, Dodge Hellcat. Let's go racing, Corey.
Eddie Carroll from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, driving the red Hellcat. Good luck, guys.
Number 23, Bob Pumpkin Sire out of Freeland, Michigan, driving the Dodge Hellcat. Go Lions.
Ken Roberts driving the number 30, Team Goodwrench out of West Bend, Wisconsin.
Robert Breedlove driving the 31, Team Goodwrench out of Lancaster, South Carolina.
Greg Palmer driving the 32, Goodwrench Chevy Camaro. Good luck, everybody. Go Irish.
Driving the number 33, Team Goodwrench Chevy Camaro ZL1, Rodney Sullins from Bentonville, Arkansas.
Ulises Sandoval, driver of the number 70 for Team Sexy. It's not Team Sexy. Oh, Team Ultra.
Number 70, Ulysses Sandoval.
Big shout out
He's
to
there. He's there.
Big shout out to the second sexiest guy I know, Sec Cole. The first one being me, of course. Good luck.
Garland Hooks from Martinsville, Virginia, driving at number 71, Michelob Ultra. I'd like to give a shout out to my wife. It allowed me to do the turn and burn to Bristol and back today. 3 hours one way, 3 hours back, so that I could race tonight.
Javier Negron from Bushwick, Connecticut, driving the 72 Team Toyota Ultra.
Harry Bond driving the number 73 for Toyota Team Ultra out of Virginia.
Kelly Causey from Agricola, Mississippi, driving the Pennzoil 00 Chevrolet.
Let's get back to Gary Mingus. Driving the 143 STP Factoids out of Tallahassee, Florida.
Number 202, Team Benzoil, RJ Cabana from Pennsylvania. Shout out to my sister-in-law Holly and my wife and kids.
Mike Mangialardi of Federal Way, Washington, driving the 203 for Team Pennzoil Chevrolet. Good luck, everybody.
John
User
Fort
disconnected
Forgione
from your channel.
from Bellport, New York, Long Island, driving the number 43, Team STP Factoid, Dodge.
Driver to 300 from Stevens City, Virginia, the Nature Boy, Donnie Garrett. Woo!
Bob Seminara, Palm Coast, Florida, driving the 301 Shake and Bake. Yeah, it is a Toyota, but I'll do the best I can tonight, and let's have fun.
Well, that is awesome because I'm also driving for Shake and Bake, the number 302, Jeffrey Elliott out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Shout out to all you guys. Thanks for coming. Let's have an awesome race.
Gary Heiser driving the 303 Shake and Bake out of Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Good luck, everybody.
Larry D driving the 343 Team Factoids out of Georgetown, Massachusetts. And thank God President Trump will be back where he belongs in just 71 short days.
Stephen Brandstetter from Ranelette, Oklahoma, driving the 443 STP Factoids Dodge. Thank you, guys.
Toby Robertson out of Findlay, Ohio, driving the 711 NWO silver car out here. Good luck. Let's have some fun.
Number 712, Blaine Donlan, driving the New World Order Chrome Chevys from Kingston, Ontario. Thanks for setting up this race, Jeffrey Elliott, and shout out to FRN for broadcasting.
Driving number 713 is Chris Elliott out of Mooresville, North Carolina, driving for NWO Team Chrome Chevrolet. Shout out to my wife and my boys and the rest of the family and all my friends out there. Let's have a good race.
Bringing up the rear, 714, Bob Dixon from North Macon, Georgia, driving a Chrome Chevy, NWO.
Well, there you go, Mr. Sefco. That is your starting lineup drivers for this mega team race.
Sounds good. Should be a good one. We always look forward to seeing this. Everybody tunes in. They love seeing the strategy that comes into play with who starts where for the heat races. Of course, that big dance at the end of the night at Talladega Night Super Speedway. Best of luck to y'all. Looking forward to the show you're going to put on.
Thanks,
I
Steph.
love you, Seth. Thank you, Steph.
Love
You're
you,
a biggest fan.
Back Skip, up, yeah. Channel switched.
And as you see the cars here, the color-coded cars, if you will, of each respective team that you'll see out on the racetrack here tonight. Jess, we kick things off here at Freedom Motorsports Park, and you sung the praises of this racetrack. You've gotten out there and tested. I took the opportunity here tonight as they were doing their heat races and whatnot, kind of find out what it was you liked about this racetrack. And I'll tell you what, this is a very competitive racetrack. A lot of multi-groove opportunity there as well. A lot of opportunity for passing. I think they were 3 wide on the final lap of the test heat race here as well. So a pretty good track to actually kick off for these 4 heat races.
Yeah, I mean, we kicked. Did we kick this one off last time, or did we kick?
I
Off
believe we
another
did.
track?
Yes.
Well, I mean, this track. I mean, I just can't sing the praise of this track enough. I really like it. Like you said, multiple groove track. It's just something about this track. I mean, you said you tested it earlier. You liked it too. I mean, what did you like about it besides the multi-groove?
I think one of the things that I liked the best about it was the ability, no matter which line you ran, you could actually keep the momentum through the center because this racetrack kind of reminded me in a sense of a big Chicagoland. You've got where you're continually turning left. There's a curve on the back straightaway, kind of like Chicagoland's back straightaway is. But you look at
Where's the big orange at?
yeah, but, you look at your typical speedways like a Michigan or an Auto Club. Usually, you run the bottom, that thing's going to push up. You're going to scrub off speed. You're not going to be able to keep your positioning off the corner and have that front straightaway momentum. That's not the case in this one. I believe it was Bob Seminary ended up winning the heat race that I was in, and he actually made the pass on the bottom. And why that is crucial, people are thinking, well, you make the pass on the bottom, big deal. These heat races are run at 4x. That is 4x on tire wear, 4x on fuel consumption, which means the usual tire heat buildup that you would have in a normal race is 4 times that amount. That means the car gets tighter quicker. That means that usually a car that if you ran in 1x or 2x that would be pushing up through the center of the corner, it is impossible to turn off the corner in a 4 times wear race. So the fact that there is that maneuverability to be able to make passes on the inside, in the middle line, and there's still all that momentum on the top side when you get off of 2 and 4 on the straightaways, makes for a lot more competitive and side-by-side racing. But to that end, and we already talked on this, that also opens up the door with side-by-side racing for more mistakes, and that's something drivers have to avoid.
Especially off of turn 2, because I was riding up with Robert Breedlove as he was starting to slowly get a bit of a draft sniff off of Rod Weston, and off of 2. That car just wanted to push up a little bit more, so they got to be careful they don't overdrive the corners. And that apron, it can be a little bit tricky, especially on times 4 like we're talking about.
Definitely
and,
can.
I mean, they got to be really careful about overdriving those corners like that and getting down there. I did want to point out something really funny real quick. So, my hatred for Greg is going to be there tonight too, because on Thursday there was a point where I needed to get in lane, right? And Greg actually backed off. Palmer backed off and said, "Go ahead and get down." I said, "Oh, well, you're being really nice." And he's like, "Yeah, of course I want to be nice." I said, "Okay, well, I guess this is just you wanting me to acknowledge you on the broadcast race coming up, right? How nice of a guy you actually are." And then just as I said that, he dipped out of line to pass me. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
right,
no. Well,
So,
with that story, you're going to hate what I'm going to be talking about next, because we talk about the strategy that comes into play with who starts what races, and Greg Palmer is a 3-time winner here in the heat races at Freedom Motorsports Park. So,
okay. Who? Oh, you're talking about that? Oh, that one guy.
That one guy.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that one guy. I'd rather you talk about the other guy, the guy who's got the most wins in this series, completely, Mr. Alex Mo.
Well, here's the funny part. I can't talk about him yet because he doesn't have a heat win at this racetrack. He's got the heat wins at Michigan and at California. He's yet to get a heat win here at this particular racetrack.
It
So
don't matter if he can win this track or not, Seth. Overall, the championship's what matters.
that's true. But does he run this racetrack though? Since he's so good at the other ones, maybe he has one of the other I'm on fire cars go out there. Grant Wesley on that team. Maybe he's the guy that they pegged to go out there and run this racetrack. But this is actually, I think, and I'd have to go back and look, but I think this is the first occasion where every single one of the former race winners at this racetrack are actually in the field here tonight that are shown up here tonight.
I don't see John Wall.
John doesn't have a win here. The former winners at this racetrack that might start for their teams, but they are here tonight. We already talked about Greg Palmer. Also, Perry Bond, Robert Breedlove, Kelly Causey. Those
John
drivers
Wall
have.
in here though, so you can't say nothing.
But he doesn't have a win here. He doesn't even have a heat win at all.
John Wall?
Nope.
John Wall in the 0, he didn't win at all.
I'm looking back through my notes. He didn't even have a heat win. Not at all. Nope.
Oh, I thought he actually won one of the races that we had. I mean,
no, I think he finished second in one of them, if I remember correctly. Actually,
wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I think what you're thinking of might be when Kelly Causey won in the third event. I think they finished 1-2. I think the Coors cars finished 1-2, and it was Kelly over John Wall. So that might be what you're thinking of at this racetrack.
Well, I mean, I don't have that ability to do all the stats and go back and look real quick like you are. So,
yeah, I'm not able to look back right now. I just wrote everything down. That's all. I don't have second, third, fourth place finishers.
Seth sees a thing that says 0 wins for someone. He puts a 1 in front. Oh, this guy's got 10 wins.
Yep. The magic of a pen. So John Wall does not have a heat win. He is a former team champion, however. Back in the first event, he was a team champion with Rodney Sullins, Ken Robertson, Greg Palmer. Roberts and Palmer, coming into this, are 2-time team champions. They were on the, obviously, Team Goodwrench champion team from the previous event, and Rodney Sullins was unable to make the last team event. He's back on Team Goodwrench here tonight.
Yeah, I look at over here at the look at everyone in their own channels here, and the one that kind of surprises me is Kelly Causey being Chevy Pennzoil instead of being paired with Ken Roberts or Rodney Sullivan, so that's going to be interesting. And then you've got Seminaire and Donnie representing purple, what is it,
the Shake and Bake.
I just had it, yeah. I just had it in my eyesight here, yellow Chevy. Oh, purple Toyota SMB. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and you bring up Toyota. We heard there in the driver intro. Bob, not all that thrilled that he's actually in a Toyota Camry here tonight. I guess he's a diehard Chevy guy.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, he wasn't all that thrilled. Didn't sound all that thrilled about having to be in a Toyota Camry tonight. He's like, I'll do the best I can.
Well, Toyota was supposed to go places, I guess. Bob doesn't go anywhere, does he?
I guess not when Bob's behind the wheel.
Going down here, looking Alex Mose with the orange Pontiacs. Yeah, usually when we see Bob's usually with the
NWO.
Yeah.
Yep.
And tonight, I'm looking over here at the Blue Ford Dark Horses. Completely different lineup for that team. I mean, I don't know, was Robert Jackson on that team last time, or was it Adam Simonek that might have been on that team last time?
Last time the Dark Horse team didn't even run. But I believe that if I recall correctly, both Jackson and Simonek were teammates back with the Wildcat, or not Wildcats, Wolfpack. But now they're over with Dark Horse. It is 9 teams here tonight as well. There was going to be a 10th team, but the Beast Monster Energy Dark Horse Mustangs withdrew, so that's why it's only 9 teams here this evening.
Can you even call Yellow Chevy a main team? Because like we said earlier, there's only 3 drivers for that team.
I feel like you still can. It just depends on what they have for the ability of that one driver that they're missing, what they get for points. I mean, if they go out and win, they're going to get to start 2 drivers every race. So most teams are going to have where they'll have each driver go out for 2 races. There will be obviously an exception for Causey, Mangialardi, and Cabana. We may see 2 of them in as many as 3 races here tonight to try and get points. Honestly, though, if you think about it, because of that, the only thing that it's going to hurt them in is the main event, because they are going to get to start 2 drivers.
We should have got Michael to come over here and run, but we know he's
I
too
offered it.
fixated on that freaking race going on for Xfinity for the championship with that. But if we had him over here, at least he wouldn't be falling asleep.
I did offer it. I'm not gonna lie, but he said no. So the offer was there.
He just wants to be distracted every 2 seconds. Ha!
Also should point out, Grant Wesley is an alternate tonight over at the I'm on Fire Pontiac Firebirds. He's replacing Nate Balser. So just want to throw that out there, that Nate was originally going to be the driver and Grant is the fill-in driver, as he was, I believe, the only alternate for the evening. And it was interesting, you talked about the fact that Seminara is normally on NWO. It was kind of like a shift to a shift to a shift from one team to another team to another team. I mentioned that Rodney Sullivan's was not able to be in the last Mega Team event. He now is back on Team Goodwrench. That then moved Bob Dixon over to Team NWO, and that's what moved Seminara over to Team Shake and Bake. So
Rodney was originally part of the Black Hurt.
So when he came back, Dixon shifted NWO, and that moved Seminara over to Shake and Bake.
Remember Paglia was part of the Blue Forge, wasn't he? And then he got moved.
Yes. He was part of the Blue Forge.
Quick interruption here. I'm not sure if it's me or you, but there was a little bit of a lag on someone's.
It was on mine. It was on mine. I think we're back. The quality went down for a brief moment, but we are back.
All right, just make sure we don't lose it. Lose me one way or the other.
We may have a couple of times tonight, folks, where we have some frame droppage or something. I am on spotty wireless connection. It, for the most part, is really good, but it does have its moments. So just bear with us.
You're on the stand for internet connection.
Unfortunately. But what were we just talking about? Oh yeah, Mark Paglia. Yeah, he originally in the first Mega Team races that we broadcasted, he was with, as you pointed out, the Blue Dark Horse Mustangs. It was last team event, if I recall correctly, that he made the shift then over to the I'm on Fire Pontiac Firebirds, and he's with that team again here tonight. We are.
Well, they're in qualifying now.
Yep, we are currently in qualifying. We talked about this last time out. This is a new thing that they've done where it's not random qualifying draw. They're allowing drivers to kind of determine their starting grid fate with a qualifying session. So we'll see who ends up obviously turning the laps for their respective teams and how important track position will be for this particular race.
Who's the 11 here?
The 11.
Because if you look at the Q list here, 15th, number 11, and it just says O.
It might be Stephen Morrison. There are two drivers that are going to show up on the ticker here tonight, depending on what races they're in. One is going to show up as Outlaw, that is Doug Firth, and then one's going to show up as just Steven, and that is Stephen Morrison. Those both for Team Dark Horse.
In the number 12, though.
Oh, he's in the 12.
Yeah.
So
all right, we're about to go.
The 11 might be Outlaw then. It might be that. That's why it might show O, because it might be Doug Firth as Outlaw.
Wait, isn't John? No, that's DCT, isn't it?
Yeah, Robert Jackson.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we look at it, it's going to be a fun event tonight, Seth, because we're on the track, and we were talking about the qualifying, right? Well, the fun thing about the qualifying is what was it, like 2 or 3 broadcasts ago, we always heard the Lovels talk about, oh, they want to be starting this place, they got to start this place, because if they start this place, they can't do nothing, they got to be up near the front, that's the only way they can do it. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how hard these guys in the middle to the back of the pack are going to push it to get all the max points they can early on based on what we saw last broadcast.
Definitely will. Tony Roberson for the Chrome NWO Chevrolets is going to start on the front row alongside of RJ Cabana. We got Gary Mingus alongside of Denny Carroll. Robert Breedlove, Greg Palmer, teammates in that row. Then more teammates alongside each other in row 4 with Bob Seminara and Donnie Garrett. Bob Dixon, Javier Negron, Larry D, Garland Oaks, Mark Paglia, Mike Mangialardi. There's Outlaw Doug Firth, Rod Weston, Josh Slocum, and Robert Jackson going to be the drivers participating in this one. Obviously, 2 drivers from each one of the 9 teams, so 18 spots here in this field, and the points payout depends on where you end up finishing, but most drivers, they want that win, or they want to at least finish up inside of the top 5 with both of their vehicles to get as many points as possible, get that advantage here in these heat races. As here we go. Mega team race here tonight is underway.
Josh Slocum back there had a huge restart. He went all the way up in the 3rd lane at the start of that. He didn't make any passes, which is perfectly legal at that point, but he had a huge run, so they were ready for that start.
RJ Cabana was as well. He's actually going to take the lead from the outside of the front row, get in front of Roberson.
203 got the wall back here, along with, I want to say it was Rod right behind, and they both hit the wall pretty hard.
3 wide a little further up here as well. That is the 32 on the bottom there. That I believe is Greg Palmer. Robert Breedlove in the middle. One of the shake and bake cars down the bottom there as well. That's Seminara. Denny Carroll in the red Hellcat Dodge. Left side of your screen making a move there as well. 3 wide for the 2nd position.
You know what I'm seeing here, Seth? I'm seeing the orange teammates working together. Early on, I saw the purple teammates working together. I saw Team Goodrich work together. Team Michelob Ultra, they're working together. They're already getting themselves lined up pretty well at the very beginning of these races already.
Trying to get themselves organized here, but of course as well, a lot of drivers will say trying to woe up for a teammate to let them in can put you in a precarious situation, so sometimes they don't like working with each other until they absolutely get spread out and have an opportunity to. It's better to just go all in aggressive, even against each other if your teammates, as top 3 have gotten themselves single filed out. It's now Seminara versus Roberson for 4th place, but everybody so far has been able to make these first 2 laps clean.
Yep, and that's the key right there. You said 2 key words, aggressive but clean.
They don't go together, but they have to work. Top 3 have gotten broken away here.
Battle for the lead again. Or 2nd place, I'm sorry. Oh, one of the Team Michelob drivers way up the track there, got kind of pushed up.
Up in that 3rd groove, hangs on to it. That was, I believe, Javier Negron following in the tire tracks of his teammate Garland Oaks, and you see a couple of drivers took advantage of his loss of momentum off of turn 4 and onto the front straightaway. That's Paglia and Slocum. The I'm on Fire.
As we said, we love this track, and now you know why.
Absolutely.
You don't even got to be the fastest driver in practice or in the race or nothing to have fun at this track, because I actually had fun, and I think I was like way down there when I was practicing. I don't know where you were on your list stuff, but
I was everywhere.
Have fun you could have
I
fun
ran
anywhere.
every single line to test it out. And it's fun off a turn, too, on the inside line, because your car doesn't necessarily push up. It kind of slides up. Like the back end, the right rear tire is a little slippy there.
The track wants to drive you up.
Yeah, it does.
It's really nice. But you just can't go a little bit too hard.
For 4th
place. You go too hard, that wall's there.
And we're seeing some drivers hit it right there. That was, I think, Donnie Garrett just got the wall, right side of your screen. 4th place battle, Robert Breedlove, a former winner at this racetrack. That was back in the 2nd Mega Team event. To the inside of Bob Seminara, trying to force him up the track there, and he will wrestle away P4.
This is actually
and a lead
really
change.
Good heat race here. Really great heat race so far. So very competitive, very clean, but like we said earlier, aggressive. And we're at halfway now.
Yeah, but now the question is, we've run clean to this point. When do drivers start forcing the issue? When do they start to get a little bit desperate as we enter into the second half?
There's a 20 around. 20 got up really high up, tapped the wall just slightly, and Team Michelob car, the number 72, was there, right there at the quarter panel when he bounced off. So they're starting to push a little bit more, sliding up and hitting that wall stuff.
Keeps it
you know
going.
that's when they're overdriving, is when they hit that wall.
Yep, keeps it going, no damage, so drivers are able to continue on here in these heat races. If trouble breaks out, there could be positions and points available for Rod Weston here. His teammate Denny Carroll hounding the back of the 32 of Greg Palmer with 4 laps to go.
Oh,
yep, one of the shake and bake cars.
Yeah, Donnie Garrett got pushed up out of the way on that one.
I believe that was Gary Mingus moving him up out of the way in one of the STP Factoid machines. And look at Garrett paying the price for it. Now going by him, Garland Oaks. Here comes Josh Slocum on the inside line there as well.
I mean, yeah, it's only 10-lap shootout technically, but at the same time, they ran the first half of this race on times for wear. So now when their aggression's kind of picking up, trying to get every spot that matters, you know that right there, they're going to feel that tire wear.
Not as much of a guarantee that move is going to stick as it would have been in the early stages of this race. You got Robert Breedlove up here in the 3rd position. Wonder if he has thoughts of making a move on Denny Carroll, if he's more playing defense, trying to keep it both of the Goodwrench Chevrolets inside of the top 3, RJ Cabana and Bob Seminara right behind him.
Once again, Donnie Garrett a little bit high up off of the... Oh, there goes Donnie. They get wrecked back here.
Garrett upside down. Garland Oaks going to get held up behind him. Field spreads out even more. Now 6-7 cars in this lead group, then 5 behind them.
Donnie Garrett flipped. He's up on his, he's turtled up here on the infield.
Ooh, stacking up there. RJ Cabana drove it in deep, checks up Seminara, who in turn checked up Mingus. Now 3 cars with a little bit of daylight up at the front. Denny Carroll doing all he can to get around Greg Palmer. The problem is, though, if Denny makes a move, he's not going to get any draft from the car behind him because that's a teammate to the 32 car.
Let's see. ... I wonder if right-click kick.
Oh, contact for second! More contact!
You think if they like kicked a certain driver right now?
I think there'd be a problem in the victory lane interview if indeed he does win this thing.
Like, wait, what? I got distracted.
But this is shades of the last Mega Team race. Greg Palmer won that.
Here, the 2 and the 301 of Bob Seminara, 2 of Josh Slocum. Really tight racing back here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
How about this, though, on the final lap out of turn 4? Statement out of the defending champion team. 1-2. Palmer and Breedlove taking it here at Freedom Motorsports Park. The gauntlet's been thrown down, and the rest of the teams are going to have to answer with 3 heat races remaining.
Oh, that was wild the last couple of laps. Donnie Garrett going up in the air, flipping and barrel rolling stuff. They really started ramping up that intensity at the end of that race.
Had a couple of drivers hit the wall, but really only 2 incidents, I think, there during the course of this 10-lapper.
Yeah, there was one earlier on where
Rod Weston.
Yeah, and Javier. And then that one that happened with Donnie was also, I believe, with Rod Weston. I mean, not Rod Weston, Javier.
So that shows you these drivers are realizing with less incidents here in this one, they don't want those incident points put on them. Is Palmer going to come around here? We'll show you the full finishing results from this one.
That's right. We'll show you the full finishing results because no one cares about his burnout.
We're still seeing his burnout on the top right, though. But how about that? The Team Goodwrench Chevrolets there. Palmer, Breedlove, 1-2. And then I'm trying to look and see who the next team would be. Maybe the Pennzoil car. No, actually, well, maybe the I'm on Fire machines. They got 4th and 9th. The Pennzoil Chevy's got 3rd and 10th, but there's some work to do for the rest of the other teams here to combat the defending team champions.
Was moved to your channel.
Nah. He was just doing his practice for wrecking, right, Greg?
Oh, okay.
That's me. Thanks, Jess.
Well, Greg, I mean, obviously, you seem to have this track figured out pretty well. I remember mentioning this to you back the last time that we ran this as the heat opener, and you took the checkered flag there, but how important was it for you and Team Goodwrench here at this particular racetrack, kind of shades of what you did back in the last Mega Team event, throw down the gauntlet, say to the other teams, hey, we came in as team number 1, we're still team number 1, come at us.
Greg, you alive over there?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was pushing the wrong button.
Oh,
Sorry
you're
about
good.
that. Yeah, we came in to defend, and just went according to plan. Myself and Breedlove, and take it from there. We raced the track, not the other cars.
Yeah, we were talking about the racetrack. Jess has been singing the praise of this racetrack for the last couple of Mega Team events. I got my first laps on this racetrack in one of the heat races, the test heat races earlier on tonight. Let's talking about the maneuverability of this racetrack, the ability to run all 3 lanes, be able to still get that momentum off the corner. Does that help if you end up not necessarily getting the qualifying effort you're looking for, or do you put a lot of emphasis on good starting track position here? Because, I mean, obviously, we've seen you go to victory lane multiple times here. Has that been in part to your ability to start up towards the front?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. Qualifying position is definitely precedent here, man. You have to get up there to the front. I think I qualified fifth, and Breedlove was right behind me, so we managed to hook up just like last time 2 weeks ago. Found the hole, took it, and thank God nobody challenged us. Well, towards the end they did, but it's a fun track to race. I have to say, it really is a fun track. You go low, it sweeps you up high, but yeah, it's really fun.
Hey, Greg, quick question for you. Are you guys doing the decision where if it's not broke, don't fix it? If it's not needing to be, messed with, just you just continue on what's working for the team. They see that you're really good, you win at that track, they're going to just keep you up there, or was it just, hey, who in this team wants to run it? Like, what was the decision that was made to pick who was going to race that one?
Well, definitely, Jess, you hit the nail on the head there. Just go with the plan. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So me and Robert, we said, look, we came 1 and 2 last 2 weeks ago. We're gonna do it again. Rodney and Ken says, yeah, of course. We wouldn't have it any other way. So we know our way around here. So yeah, they had a lot of confidence in us to hopefully repeat first and second, and we did.
So is that what we can expect from the team tonight? That you guys are just gonna race the tracks that you guys were really good last time at, or are you guys thinking about mixing it up later on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say we're going to race the same tracks we did last time.
I mean, the biggest threat you got to look at, and I mean, I know we got a lot of good drivers here, like Rodney, Kelly, Toby, Robeson. We got a lot of good drivers, but the one that's on that radar has to be Alex Moe. How are you going to counter that?
Most likely, I would think, following his tracks.
You hear that? So Alex Moe being
no, he is good. He is definitely one of the top drivers here, no doubt about it. Grant Wesley too. Don't forget about him. He's in there. He's in the mix.
Grant Wesley? You mean that guy who used to be a driver? Yeah, who doesn't race anymore? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember him.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough tonight. It will be. But you know what they say: keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. So that's what we're gonna do.
All right, well, Greg, congratulations. 4th win at this racetrack here in the Mega Team events that we've broadcasted. And as you alluded to, back-to-back 1-2 finishes for Team Goodwrench here to open up the Mega Team event. So keep your foot on the pedal there, and we'll see if you guys end up becoming back-to-back team champions. Of course, you yourself looking for your 3rd team championship here with the former Black Hirsch Chevrolet's now Team Goodwrench. We'll let you get back to it with your team. Before we do, though, floor is yours for thank you, sponsors, and shout-outs.
Thanks to you guys up there in the booth, Jess and Seth. Appreciate you. Appreciate the Jeffrey Elliott and Ken Roberts, Rodney Sullins, Toby, all the admins here. Thanks to this is the last probably mega race under the Talladega Nights flag. So thanks to Talladega Nights and everybody that came tonight. I hope we put on a good show.
Greg Palmer, he gets this Mega Team event started out right, puts his machine in victory lane, hoping that that's going to be the start to another team championship for the Goodwrench Chevrolets. Best of luck the remainder of the night here, Greg.
Thank you. I just want to thank my teammates, Ken, Robert, and Rod.
So Greg Palmer goes back to work. We are going to now bring up the start of practice here for the next upcoming event, qualifying just moments away at Michigan. And you mentioned the name Alex Moe, Jess. This is where we're more than likely to see him taking to the racetrack. The 2-mile racetracks here, whether it be Michigan or California that we'll be going to next. This seems to be his forte.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I wasn't trying to poke the poke the fireplace or anything with the the big old poker or anything, but you look at how everything's set up. Alex Moe, we know he's up at the top, and then you got Greg Palmer's coming into his own as well. So you sit back, and it's like real NASCAR in a way. If you sit there and see Earnhardt Sr. and you're Jeff Gordon, you got to figure out what you got to do in order to be up there to battle with Earnhardt or make sure you're in front of Earnhardt. Earnhardt's got to figure out how to make sure you stay behind him and keep that the role he's on. And that's the same way with Palmer and Alex Moe now. So you got Alex Moe running a race, Palmer's not in. The last race, Palmer was in, Alex Moe wasn't in. So I'm wondering if that's how tonight's trend's going to go. They're going to race the races they're not in.
Yeah, playing to their strengths for sure. We mentioned that checkered flag just recently here for Greg Palmer was his 4th at Freedom Motorsports Park. Alex Moe already has 4 checkered flags here at Michigan. He's won the last 2 heat races in the 3rd and 4th Mega Team events, and he swept both of the Michigan races back in the 1st Mega Team event. So obviously, statistics say he is a clear favorite for this one. You got to think that's going to be in the back of the minds of all the drivers here that are going to be participating in this particular heat races. They are gritting up for qualifying.
Well, when it comes to qualifying here, I don't really know, in your opinion, do you think it really matters much when it comes to qualifying at a big track like this regarding Michigan? Yes, it's a little bit iffy off of 2 sometimes, but I mean, it's all draft reliant in my opinion.
It is draft reliant. However, I do think that it is a point of emphasis to start closer up to the front at this racetrack, because I mentioned that I got on the track, tested in a race at Freedom Motorsports Park. This was the other track that I also ran a test race with them, and I actually, by the random qualifying draw, ended up getting the pole position. Car handled so much better out in clean air. Once I got back in traffic, you fight that aero tightness so badly, especially off of the banking of turn 2.
Wait, so you're telling me, and you're telling everyone, that they gave you the pole, and you lost the top spot, and you faded? Wow, so you really, you didn't dominate. Wow.
Nope, I didn't.
They gave you the pole, and you didn't do nothing with it.
I think I led the first lap and then smoked the wall on the second lap off of 2.
Wait, you think? Did you hit the wall that hard?
I can't remember. I can't remember. They kept me in the medical tent too long.
Aw, you poor thing.
But want to point out as well, we alluded to this at the top of the evening, and you heard Greg allude to it as well. This is going to be the final race, the Mega Team event, that will be run under the Talladega Nights moniker. Rising from the ashes, if you will, is going to be Full Throttle Racing. They'll be having, starting in December, 3 different series run on 3 different nights. They'll have a Tuesday, a Friday, and a Saturday night, and we will be broadcasting some of those races as well on Friday nights, starting, I believe it's December 13th, if I recall correctly. They are going to have the Full Throttle Racing Callahan Auto Parts Truck Series. We will be alternating broadcasts along with Blaine Donlin, Rod Weston over at Tarnation TV, and then on Saturday night, starting I believe it's December 14th, we will be bringing you what is going to be known as the mini team events. What is that? Well, it's basically what you're seeing here tonight, except they will run 2 heat races and a main event, and the heat races will alternate each week. Those will be on Saturday, and we'll be alternating broadcasts in that one along with Andrew Miller over at Top Dragster Network. So looking forward to those starting up in the middle of December.
So I'm trying to understand this, okay? We got Full Throttle Racing. Now, please tell me, didn't we, I mean, I know they're doing their thing, and that's fine. I honestly think we had a league at one point or something called Full Throttle.
That would have been Joshua Mercurio's series. His Winter Truck series back in the day used to be under Full Throttle Racing.
I thought I remembered that name, so I'm like, so wait. They're running out of brands and sponsors to use, so we've had to use so many different ones.
The well's running dry on monikers.
I mean, hey, this game's only been around for what, 20 years? So yeah.
I had to chuckle, and credit to him for checking with me. I got a message from Jeffrey Elliott saying, "Wait, you don't run any? Your thing isn't full throttle racing, is it? Because I don't want to step on any toes." I'm like, "No, we're NSCRA." But I had to chuckle about that because, yeah, a lot of times you'll see where different organizations they end up having the same team name. A lot of times too, I've seen a couple of occasions where they'll not necessarily have the same name, but the abbreviation is the same letters, and so
Oh yeah.
so you kind of think, huh, are they the same thing or are they two different things? I don't know.
Did we have a like what was it? Throwback series or whatever it was that used to be run over in a different team. Oh my gosh, it used to be run over there in SRA's team speak, and then
I don't remember.
I think Bobby Farrell ran that for a while, and then there was another one that came up not too long after that was run by another individual that's really no longer part of the community, I don't think. But anyway, from our old age type mindsets or whatever to this current race where we're about to go racing, Todd.
And look at this. Teammates going to line up one behind the other. Grant Wesley, as we mentioned, a alternate driver added into the I'm on Fire Pontiac Trans Am Firebirds. And right behind him going to be Alex Moe. So those two you got to think are going to be working together in the early portion of this one. Gary Heiser for Team Shake and Bake, going to be on the outside of the front row. There's Rodney Sullins in the 33. John Fragione, we haven't seen him in quite a while, known as Diesel over in ECT. And he's there with the Factoids team. Ken Roberts in the 30, Adam Simonik, Denny Carroll going to go back-to-back races here. We saw him in the first race at Freedom Motorsports Park. Perry Bond, Ulysses Sandoval there for Team Ultra, Kelly Causey, Rod Weston, Donnie Garrett. We saw both Weston and Garrett in the first race. Stephen Branstetter there. Blaine Donlin in his first start of the night. Robert Jackson, Chris Elliott, and Mike Mangialardi going to be the participants in this 10-lap shootout.
You know what I like about these cars?
What's that?
So the STP cars, or the petty cars on the side, I talked about Bob Dixon's Factoids. But, the purple cars of Donnie Garrett now, on the back of that car, I just want to go fast.
Who doesn't?
You can go fast all you want, but you got to be careful.
Green flag in the air. Is that where, like we were talking about, aggressive but cautious is going slow to go fast? Is that what we're talking about?
Maybe.
Something along those lines.
Tracking duos.
Grant Wesley, who I owe an apology to in the Michigan test race here because when I hit the wall, it checked him up and lost him a ton of positions, but I digress. He's out in front here with his teammate Alex Moe.
Do you really care that you actually got the ability to screw Grant over just one time?
I felt a little bad because the previous lap he gave me a bump to keep me at the front, so yeah. But I'm not on the track now. I can't screw him up now, so anything that happens to him in this one is not my fault.
Alright, let me do a whisper here and tell everyone to dive bomb one internally.
Who you messaging here? You getting Sullins? Or you getting Heiser? Roberts?
Well, we're all banking on Alex Moe to do something here, so I don't think we want to jinx Alex Moe here.
Yeah.
But it goes back to saying, though, we're talking about Alex Moe and Grant being up here at the top. Now, I mean, do you think Alex Moe is just going to be comfortable with... Oh, well, I was about to say comfortable riding behind Grant. He's peeking down there now.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. I'm glad you brought it up because, yeah, we're so used to Alex Moe kind of taking the reins, going up to the front there. But now with a teammate that also had an equally good qualifying position and running out in front, does he play defense? Is he willing to ride in the second position, kind of counter the Goodwrench Chevrolet's 1-2 from the previous heat? Or is he wanting to get up there past Wesley, maybe think he's a little faster? You see him side by side here with Heiser trying to pin him down.
Right back here. Perry Bond's around
and Diesel.
Yep.
Diesel gets it right in.
How that happened.
Perry Bond there as well. I wonder if Perry Bond might have gotten a little high off a turn too. I was battling side by side with him in a test race, and he got just a little out of the groove off of 2, and the thing went around on him. Might have had the same thing happen in this one. And look who's running in 4th and 5th. I don't want to say riding, but for the moment, kind of seems like they are. Ken Roberts, Rodney Sullins, trying to build off the 1-2 finish of their teammates from Freedom
Well,
Motorsports
well
Park.
I noticed that Ken got a little bit of a gap. He was right there behind his teammate, and all of a sudden in that corner right there, he just backed off completely. I don't know whether he missed the entry on his marks on that, or whether this is just strategic.
Definitely looks like he might have had to lift. That's brought Denny Carroll to his back bumper. This is Sandoval with a move there to the inside of the 13 of Adam Simonik. This would be for, I believe, 7th position. And contact! Simonik gonna into the wall. Around he goes. Looks like everybody's going to avoid him. They weren't given a whole heck of a lot of room there. Were Sandoval and Simonik paid the price for it.
Oh, Seth, that goes back to that clean racing tactic. You can expect to see what they're going to do in the end results on that one.
And we ended up documenting this back in the last Mega Team race. There is a difference in points penalty. If you end up like door banging somebody in that kind of a case and wrecking them, it is a lesser points penalty than if you just flat out dump somebody. So it would be interesting to see during the course of the review who that ends up being put upon and what points penalties end up getting paid out as a result. As look at this, Grant Wesley pushing up the track off of turn 2, and Alex Moe will get to his inside. So it looks like even out in clean air, the driver dealing with that tightness off the second corner.
I do want to ask you something real quick, okay? Because there is something that I do not even know about in this race. You know, with it being no damage, right?
Right.
But still times 4. If a car smacks the wall, how much of an effect would that have on your tire itself?
It won't have an effect on the tire. Only thing that hitting the wall would do at a track like this is it loses you momentum. But it won't do anything in terms of wearing your tire out.
I was just wondering if it scrubs anything off with the tire or the tire heat or anything else.
No, I don't believe so.
Donnie Garrett looking to go under the 70 machine, and now looking at Danny Carroll for position that's to get, what is it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th position, and Danny Carroll's on the wall, and Danny Carroll was right up at the front of us not too long ago.
Yeah, he was running up as high as, I think it was 6th or 7th, and you mentioned Donnie Garrett, his teammate right there, Gary Heiser, under fire, now as Rodney Sullins and Ken Roberts move to 3rd and 4th. See if they have any plans for the top 2, as Wesley has been able to tuck in line behind Alex Moe. Big run there for Kelly Causey off of turn 2. Give it a push to Heiser down the back straightaway.
This big old bump here. I mean, that's the draft right there taking effect. But, I mean, traffic is so strong at these tracks, especially their smaller ones like this compared to Daytona and Talladega stuff. So you really got to be careful not to stay in that throttle a little bit too long. And then the checkups, you got to be very careful on that too.
Yeah, and a lot of drivers not given a lot of room off of 4 onto the front straightaway. We saw some contact right there between Donnie Garrett and Kelly Causey. Is 2 laps to go. Ooh, Roberts pushes up.
On the outside of that.
Yep.
Donnie looked and he just had to check out because there's nothing he could have done at that point.
Look at the momentum he loses. Causey's going to go by. Sandoval looking to the inside is at the front. Alex Moe continues to lead. Bit of a gap back to Wesley, who's trying to play defense against Rodney Sullins. Sullins got a rear deck lid full of Gary Heiser in the shake and bake 303. White flag in the air for Alex Moe, who is chasing his 5th Michigan heat race.
I wonder if Grant's going to let him have it or not, because, I mean, yeah, we're talking about 2 good drivers, and they are our teammates. You know, it doesn't matter. These guys are classy enough to play the teammate card with anybody, and, you know, they're good enough to do that. But, honestly, Seth, I don't know if Grant and Alex are going to deal with that or not here.
Doesn't look like Grant's even close enough to make a move here. But how about that? An answer back from the I'm on Fire Pontiac Trans Ams to the Goodwrench Chevrolets that say, hey, you went 1-2, we'll do it as well. Moe Wesley pick up the top 2 positions in Michigan.
And now you got to know that Ken Roberts finishing 5th here, Rodney Sullins 3rd. We know that black Goodwrench Chevy team right there, they're going to be ones to be paying attention to, because that's 2 in a row.
That is all 4 of their drivers in the first 2 races finishing inside of the top 5. The 1-2 finish from Palmer Breedlove in the first event at Freedom Motorsports Park, and now a 3rd, 5th for Sullins and Roberts. It's still great, the 1-2 finish here for Mo and Wesley, but they still got a lot of work to do. They need the
double teammates up here.
Oh, yep, we're going to do double burnouts. Oh, I was hoping they were going to do the nose-to-nose burnouts.
No, he's like, I'm the tag team champion. No, I'm the tag team champion.
Been a while since we've seen Grant Wesley in one of these mega team events. And he gets to celebrate a 1-2 finish with Alex Moe. We keep having Palmer win at Freedom Motorsports Park and Moe win at Michigan. I'm running out of questions for these guys.
I thought they were going to do this bumper bumper there. Whatever.
What questions do we ask Alex Moe that we haven't already asked him in his 4 previous wins?
User was moved to your channel. User was moved
Why
to
don't
your
we
channel.
ask both of them?
There you go. Shake it up a little bit. They burned out together. They interviewed together. I like it. Alex, Grant, you guys got us up here in the booth?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Got you.
All right, let's talk a little bit about team communication here in this one, because we saw Grant out in front and Alex, you were playing the defense in second place, and then the two of you kind of alternated there. Was that by design? Did you have a slip up there, Grant, and then Alex was able to get by you? Like what went on in that situation? Because obviously, regardless of who ended up getting first, who ended up getting second, you guys end up getting those maximum team points here for this one.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, honestly, it was a slip up at first, but yeah, ultimately the plan was for both of us to lead laps and get the maximum points. So yeah, it worked out perfectly.
I'm glad you remembered how to race, Grant. I haven't seen you in forever.
No kidding, man. I'm rusty. I've been out for a month and a half working.
Alex, I keep running out of questions to ask you here. This is your 5th heat win at Michigan. Obviously, we were talking with Palmer earlier. He's won multiple times at Freedom Motorsports Park, so we were pretty certain, since this is a track that really plays to your strengths, as we've seen statistically here, that we were going to see you out there on the racetrack. But for you and Grant finishing 1-2 here, how important was it for you guys to have that co-opetition, to be able to kind of counter the 1-2 finish by the GM Goodwrench Chevrolets in the first one?
Well, last race was just kind of business as usual. Happy to have Grant aboard our team. He replaced Nate, and then I'm with Josh and Mark again, like last month's event. So happy to have everyone aboard. Kind of was just track position there. Grant and I both qualified up front. We were just able to get by Gary there on the start, hold the track position, and just use the draft to kind of keep the cars behind us at bay. So we got the maximum points, and it's just what we needed, business as usual. So.
Hey, Alex, I have to ask, because I asked Palmer the same thing. When going out here, are you doing the same thing that Palmer's doing? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and you're going to just race the ones that you're really good at, that, you know, you're dominated at or you won at, that they know you can get the job done? Or are you shaking it up tonight, letting other drivers run tracks that you'd actually be a little bit better at?
Well, obviously, if you're if it's works, you don't want to fix it. But we were talking before, there was a chance that I was going to end up running Homestead instead of one of the Cali or Michigan races. But I think myself and Grant are running this next race here at Cali.
Yeah, I'll ask you both there. I'll have Grant answer first and then you, Alex. In the fact that we've had more emphasis now in both the last Mega Team event and here tonight on aggressive racing, obviously, but clean racing, because there are incident points penalties that are given out during these heat races, and it can come into play who's going to ultimately win the team championship. What are some of the keys you kind of look at coming into a race like this? Is it qualifying position, or is it just, like Jess was alluding to, the comfort at a certain racetrack that you look at to make sure that your team comes away with those maximum points and doesn't have to suffer any points penalties here in the battle for the championship?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is definitely to stay out of trouble. You don't want to get a negative point or, a zero. You don't want a goose egg. Yeah, I think number one, stay out of trouble, but definitely you want to make sure you get a solid finish at the same time. So, yeah, just try to check all the boxes.
Yeah, as a team, we just need to all play to our strengths. We had a little team meeting before the first race, and we decided that this mega event, unlike last month's where we had a couple penalties that killed us at the end, our main concern is just to just keep it clean tonight. Keep an eye out what's going on around us. Get the bonus points when we can, and try to finish as high as we can. It's a team event, and we win as a team. So.
Well, he definitely finished the highest possible in that last heat race at Michigan. Alex, congratulations on the win. Grant, the second place finish there, trying to answer the call that the Team Goodwrench Chevrolet has put down at Freedom Motorsports Park. We'll go in order of finish with Alex, then Grant. Give you guys the opportunity here for thank you, sponsors, and shout-outs before we get you back to your teammates in preparation here for the upcoming race of California.
Yep, shout out to Lowe's, Chevrolet, Hendrick Cars. Shout out to Grant for a great run there. Happy to have you on the team in this event. And shout out to the broadcasters, you and Jess, as always. I think I've seen Andrew Ament is going to be joining you for future broadcasts. I've always been cool with him, so that should be cool to listen to. And shout out to all the admins that make nights like these possible.
Yeah, thanks to Nate Balzer for the opportunity here tonight. Thanks to Talladega Nights and Jeff and all of his admins for putting on this event. They're a lot of fun to run. Thanks to my teammates with I'm on Fire, Alex, Josh, and Mark. FRN, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and I'm looking forward to watching it back. My friends and family for watching, and my girlfriend Brittany.
You didn't thank Prepper Farms, Grant.
Oh, I forgot.
Remember, they're the reason why you remember how to race. They remember.
They remember, that's right.
Well, Alex, Grant, congratulations on the 1-2. We'll let you get back to your team communication here in preparation for the upcoming race, and maybe not the last time we're talking to either one of you here this evening. Best of luck.
We'll see. Thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, so we get geared
User
up
was
and
moved out of
ready
your channel.
for California. And I'm going to have to go back over my notes, see who some of the defending winners are
now
of this
you gotta
one.
go back and figure something out.
Yeah, I got to find out who the defending winners were of this particular racetrack. Now, California actually didn't get added on to the schedule until the third mega team event.
Wait. Was this where originally Kentucky? No, that
This was
Michigan.
yes. Nope, you're correct. It was originally Kentucky in the first mega team event, and then it was Talladega Nights Super Speedway in the second. So we didn't actually come to this racetrack until the third mega team event, where Chris Elliott is the winner of that one. The defending winner of this racetrack, we just talked with him, Alex Moe. He ended up actually going back-to-back Michigan, California in heat races 2 and 3 in the fourth and last team event that we covered.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's right. That seems to be the moniker here tonight.
Bob the Builder, can we fix it?
So we are currently in qualifying. We'll see who's going to be representing their respective teams. Now, I've kind of been trying to go over and see. It's pretty clear as of right now that it is Team Goodwrench versus Team I'm on Fire. People will kind of look and say, well, we ended up having, obviously, all 4 of the representatives so far for Team Goodwrench finishing in the top 5. Don't forget, we ended up having the 2 representatives for I'm on Fire finish inside, I think it was the top 7 or top 8 at Freedom Motorsports Park. So while the advantage right now goes to Team Goodwrench with the 1-2 finish just scored by Wesley and Moe, I'm on Fire's not that far behind, and this could be the pendulum's shift at this racetrack as to who takes the advantage into the penultimate heat race.
Yeah, I completely agree, because, we were talking about the last broadcast as well. Remember, they come out swinging, and a couple races in, they end up having a problem where the other team came flying out of nowhere, ended up dominating. Unfortunately, we talked about that, the incident penalties and stuff afterward that basically dropped them from the championship and gave it back to Team Goodwrench. But the point being, Seth, it's this right here being the third race will set the tone to figure out who's going to stand out specifically, because that seems to be the pattern when we've gone back to the first race. You see a team break out, second team comes in, second race, and they kind of counter. And then the third race, we'll figure out if they are up there, or whether that was just a one moment type of deal at that point.
And to the point, just building off of what you were just saying there.
I'm gonna have to step away for a few moments.
Okay, no problem. But just to kind of build off what Jess was just saying there, if you go back to the first mega team event that we covered, when the team Blackhurst Chevrolets, which are now the team GM Goodwrench Chevrolets, ended up winning that team championship, the early advantage went to the I'm on Fire Pontiacs. Alex Moe was driving for that team. He ended up going to victory lane at Kentucky and Michigan. We then ran 8 heat races. So that was heat races 3 and 4. It wasn't until later on in the second half of those heat races that drivers like Greg Palmer and Ken Roberts went to victory lane, shifting the balance and the momentum over to the Blackhurst Chevrolets. So there still is a chance here, even though it's a slightly more expedited heat race schedule than it was in the past, there still is the opportunity for other teams to be able to get into this conversation. We know that the Hellcat Dodges, they've won the championship back in the second mega team event. We've seen great performances out of Team Pennzoil in the past. Team Ultras got a couple of victories. So there's no saying that those teams still don't have a chance at this thing. And of course, as well, there's going to be that big dance at the end of the night when we're at Talladega Nights Super Speedway, and we will have all 35 drivers on the racetrack at the same time in, if I remember correctly, a 47 lap main event. So looking forward to that one. We are moments away from qualifying concluding, but want to remind everybody once again that this is the final mega team race that will be run under the Talladega Nights moniker. Talladega Nights will be coming full throttle racing starting in December. They'll be running 3 different series on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday nights, and FRN will be covering some of those races. On Friday nights, we'll be covering the Callahan Auto Parts Truck Series. We will be alternating the broadcast schedule with Blaine Donlin and Rod Weston over at Tarnation TV. And then on Saturday nights, it will be the mini team event racing, which is going to be really interesting. A kind of expedited version of what you're seeing here tonight. It'll be 2 heat races and a main event every Saturday night, and we will be alternating our broadcast schedule with Andrew Miller over at Top Dragster Network. So looking forward to that. That'll be the middle of December. I believe the Friday night broadcasts start on December 13th, and the Saturday night broadcasts start on December the 14th, as they have gridded up. And let's see who's going to be participating in this third heat race. Alex Moe, he's going to be on that pole position, looking for his second win of the night. And there is who is going to start alongside of him, Chris Elliott for the Chrome NWO Chevrolets. Rodney Sullins will be on the outside of Gary Heiser. Perry Bond, Greg Palmer back in row 3. Randy Waugh and Jeffrey Elliott in row 4. Row 5, the top 10 completed by Stephen Morrison and Blaine Donlin. We've got Larry D, Kelly Causey, Grant Wesley, Doug Firth, Ulysses Sandoval, Stephen Brandstetter, RJ Cabana, and Bob Sire taking part in this one. We had 10 lap shootouts at Freedom Motorsports Park and Michigan, 13 laps here at California. So Alex Moe, this is kind of interesting because you go back to the last mega team event that we broadcasted, Freedom Motorsports Park, Greg Palmer won. He's won again here tonight. Michigan, Alex Moe was the defending winner. He won just moments ago. And Moe is the defending winner of this race. Do we go 2 races in a row where the first 3 winners are identical from team event number 4 to tonight's team event number 5? We'll find out. Green flag in the air. Alex Moe gonna lead them down into turn number 1. Got a nice shove there on the initial start from the Shake and Bake 303 of Gary Heiser. A lot of lanes available to drivers here at this racetrack as well, specifically over in 1 and 2. You drive it in deep on the inside. You pay for it a little bit more, though, off the corner. You could run the outside line, lose a little bit of time on entry, but gain it back off the exit. There's a big wreck there at the back, and that's a massive wreck. Holy cow. That's everybody but the top 3. And they're still wrecking off of 4. Everybody's scrambling to get back going. Is that Grant Wesley? Yes, it is. The runner-up finisher from the last race. And I'm pretty sure, both of the Goodwrench Chevrolets involved in that one. Let's see where they are. There's Sullins getting going again, and there's Greg Palmer. This could, as we said, this could be the momentum shift that the I'm on Fire Pontiacs need, although they lost one of their members in that wreck as well. Alex Moe, the lone driver of either of those respective teams up here at the front. And it is now Moe versus Heiser versus Elliott, then a long ways back to this fourth place battle with Jeffrey Elliott and Steven Brandstetter. So right now the Shake and Bake Toyotas are in a great spot with Elliott in fourth and Heiser in second if they can stay there. Again, no cautions. We continue to run. That's why you saw, I think, that follow-up wreck off of turn 4. A lot of drivers spinning, trying to get back into the throttle, drive away from the incident, take advantage of the others involved in the wreck, and either maintain or gain positions. Those positions count for points. It was on the bottom of our screen, so not exactly sure who it was that started the wreck, but you got to think there's going to be a points penalty for whoever that driver was in causing an incident. And field is majorly spread out now. We saw 4th and 5th. Here's 6th and 7th. Causey in the 200 for Team Bentdoyle, and then Doug Firth in the 11 for the Blue Dark Horse Mustangs. Randy Waugh is right now in the 8th position with Perry Bond in 9th and RJ Cabana in the 10th position. So I believe that means that both the Shake and Bake cars and both the Pennzoil cars are inside the top 10 right now. No other team has both of their machines in the top 10 currently, as Cabana rather to the inside of Perry Bond looking for 9th. Larry D just behind looking on, and there's Greg Palmer trying to work his way forward. Got a car up ahead that the leaders will probably catch before this race is over, as we won't even be halfway till they reach the backstretch. We're blocking for second place there, Heiser against Elliott, but that car up ahead that I believe they will catch before the conclusion is Ulysses Sandoval out of Team Ultra. Wesley out of Team I'm on Fire back in 16th. Rodney Sullins out of Team Goodwrench back in 17th. So it kind of right now, the battle after the first two races between the orange Pontiacs and the black Chevrolets is coming down between Alex Moe versus Greg Palmer. And right now Moe is the leader and Palmer's back in 12th. You see the gap closing up there. Sandoval's not off the pace. There's no damage. His tires might be a little worn from the spin out, but because these three are in a line, they are producing obviously more draft on the straightaway than a single car would, and that's why they caught Sandoval and are going to move on by him relatively quickly. Sandoval might be able to latch onto these guys and hope they catch some other cars that he could pick up some spots potentially. Although the next closest cars there of Wesley and Sullins are on the other straightaway. Leaders are going into 1. Those two we just saw were about 2/3 of the way down the backstretch. Gary Heiser trying an alternate line there to the race leader through 1 and 2. Might have been trying to get some clean air to the nose, allow a little bit better turnability through the center of the corner. Again, running a little bit lower through 3 and 4. Chris Elliott almost in his tire tracks. Now lets it swing up a little wide off the corner. Almost a little too wide. Nearly had a brush with the wall. Trying to do everything they can to reel in Alex Moe, but catching him is one thing, passing him is another. We talked about at the other two racetracks, Freedom Motorsports Park and Michigan. As the run goes on, the ability of what your car is able to do in terms of grip is going to go away with the 4 times wear and the tire heat building up specifically in that right front. Jeffrey Elliott has been working with Steven Brandstetter. They've been trying to see if they can close up any kind of a gap on the top three, but they don't have the numbers. And now Elliott's actually going to go high, and Brandstetter will go by him. Jeffrey trying to make sure both he and his teammate Gary Heiser finish up inside of the top 5. Both of the Goodwrench Chevrolets and one of the I'm on Fire Pontiacs involved in that big wreck. So an opportunity here. The door opens for another team to take advantage, throw their hat into the ring for a shot at this team championship potentially. But Alex Moe is going to shift the momentum for his team against the defending team champions if he's able to hold on for his second win of the night. Second time in the last 2 mega team events that he would go back-to-back at Michigan and California. And he's 2.5 laps away from doing just that, unless Heiser and Elliott are able to somehow work together to get a big run on him that he's not able to defend. Looked like there in that last camera shot, we were able to see Grant Wesley and Rodney Sullins. No, that's actually Randy Waugh in the 21. Not sure what happened to him, the driver out of the Hellcat Dodge team. But now he is in danger of finishing this race a lap down if they reel him in. Heiser with the look to the bottom. Moe let him have it. He wanted that outside line exit off of 2. Heiser's still there. Is he going to look low again here through 3 and 4? Takes a peek.
All right, well, I'm back. What have I missed?
We had the massive one at the beginning of this one, and both of the Goodwrench Chevrolets were involved. One of the I'm on Fire Pontiac. So we talked about the pendulum swing, and that might have been the wreck that did it.
Is the race over, or are we on the final lap?
White flag was just displayed there for Alex Moe. Heiser's had a couple of looks, not been able to do anything. Let's see if he and Chris Elliott can maybe tandem.
Oh my goodness, Brandstetter and Jeffrey Elliott, they are that far back.
Yep, and the top 3 were the only ones really not in that wreck. Everybody else scrambled afterwards to get going.
Well, it's good to see Chris Elliott up here in the top 3.
And it looks like that's where he's going to finish, in the podium behind Gary Heiser and Alex Moe. Can you believe this, Jess? We are literally doing a carbon copy of the last Mega Team event. Palmer, Moe, Moe. The first 3 winners of the heat events. That's what it was last time out.
Are you telling me that when we get to these tracks, it kind of runs on the Momo?
Yeah. What I'm also saying is right now, if I was a betting man, bet the house on Toby Roberson to win at Homestead, because he was the defending winner of that race.
So all the pressure's on Toby.
Apparently so. Fat stack on Toby.
So Palmer finished 32nd. Wow, I'm just thinking
out of an 18-car field. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it? So Grant finishing 14th, Greg finishing 11th.
And Rodney was 16th.
Oh, Rodney 16th. That's gonna take a hit. And do we know if any of the Pontiacs were part of the incident, possibly?
So for the cause, I'm not 100% certain. We didn't quite catch where the incident started. We just saw the aftermath. It was around, I believe, where Rodney Sullins was running, which at the time was 4th or 5th place, I think. But who the incident actually would have been on, I'm not 100% certain.
Question, do we even want to interview Alex? Do we want to go somewhere different and get Gary or Chris? What do you want to do?
You know what we should do? We should actually interview Alex and have him ask us the questions. Let's shift it that way.
You know what? How about we... I got an idea. Let's interview you, Liz, so he finished last.
Oh,
Make her feel better. So what do you want to do?
We'll get a hold of Alex.
Same old.
Yep.
I almost got Mark accident.
User was
There we
moved
go.
to your
There we
channel.
go. We got Alex Moe again. Alex, this is uncanny because I might as well have not written down any notes so far here tonight from the last event to this event because it's been a carbon copy. Palmer winning at Freedom, you winning at Michigan and California. However, what we saw there, that big wreck, that kind of gives us a little bit of a something to talk to you about in terms of strategy because your teammate was swept up in that and both of the Goodwrench Chevrolets were caught up in that. Jess and I talked about that. It seems like in these mega team events, whether we end up having the 8 heat races or the 4 heat races, we get to the second half of these things and momentum starts to shift one way or the other. Do you guys kind of feel that the tide has turned in your favor, or how badly did Wesley being involved in that affect you guys here down this home stretch?
Well, I mean, you never want to see, anyone get wrecked. Any of the drivers out here, everyone wants to finish the race. It's unfortunate that, my teammate Grant, I think he got tapped in the rear end and did get caught in that. I guess if you want to put it this way, fortunately for us, both of the Team Goodwrench Chevrolets were involved in that, which I guess would help us out points-wise because I think they were leading. So, you don't want to see anyone get wrecked. It did look like a pretty big wreck in my mirror. I was going to try to check out the replay of it, but my burnout was too long. So, and then looks like Josh and Mark on my team are in this next race. So let's see what they can do, and best of luck to them.
Yeah, it was definitely a massive wreck. I can definitely tell you that. I think only 3 or 4 drivers were able to get through without contact. But obviously we have the benefit up here of being able to look over the field, see the finisher results and everything. Couple of teams now maybe starting to enter into the conversation. Both the Shake and Bake Toyotas finishing inside of the top 5. How much are you guys as a team aware of who the potential competition is, or do you not really focus on that as much? You just kind of put your head down, go to work of whoever it is that's out there running the race for your respective team? Do you leave the spectating up to us and the fans to try and figure it out, or do you work the calculators yourself a little bit?
Well, we as a whole, I mean, we kind of, peek around what's going on and see, who's having good finishes, who's having not good finishes, and then the added intel that the broadcasters give us definitely help, because I would have had no idea that there were a couple other teams in it besides us and Team Goodwrench. So, they're having a good run. Good luck to them. There's still enough time for other teams to turn it around here at Homestead, and then the big crapshoot next race at Talladega. So you just got to see how it plays out. In the end, it's all fun, Everyone wants to win, but we're all having fun, So
that's the main key for sure. Well, yeah, I had a couple of new questions I was able to ask you, but aside from that, I guess I'll let you go, get back there with your teammates here in preparation for this one. Obviously, I guess the next time we'll see you'll be in that main event, which you've won in the past as well, Alex. So for one final time. Oh, well.
Actually, Alex, you just need to start thinking about stuff here because Seth alluded to it a moment ago. We might start having you ask us questions because we're running on
that point.
Hey, the interviews are always appreciated. If you need to, next time if you have a couple questions, just write them down or put it in your phone. We gotta have something to talk about. But yeah, it was cool
okay,
earlier.
Cody.
It was cool earlier, the dual interview with Grant. I thought that was really cool, especially because Grant's been busy with his real life and gone from the game for a couple months. But
yeah, that's why I brought him in here because we hadn't seen him in a while. I just thought that was kind of neat to do a duel on that one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, and it was his idea to do a dual burnout there because we finished 1-2. I was all for it, but
yeah, so thought you guys are gonna do nose and nose and do a burnout.
Yeah, we're all having fun out here. It's competitive, but we're all having fun. But yeah, thanks as always for you guys broadcasting, Elliot and Dixon's for putting it on, and good luck to my teammates and everyone else in the last 2 races here.
Alex Moe, back-to-back here in these heat races, may have given the momentum back to the I'm on Fire Pontiacs, as they've been in a pretty good tussle here to begin the evening with the defending champion Team Goodwrench Chevrolets. We continue it on here on the upcoming race at Homestead, and obviously in the culmination at Talladega Nights Super Speedway.
Seth, maybe I should move Alex to Black Goodwrench Chevy.
Is the YouTube broadcast working okay? It shows. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it should be working okay.
Should be. Yeah. We've had some frames a little bit from time to time.
I had it muted. That's on me. Sorry, guys.
It's a silent talkie.
It's one of them Nora films.
Yep, it's one of the film noirs. Absolutely, we got to have it in the sepia tome. But Alex, congratulations once again on the victory. Best of luck in the upcoming main event here, and obviously to your teammates here in the upcoming race at Homestead. Best of luck here as you guys try and close out the team championship potentially.
Yep. Thanks as always, Seth and Jess.
User was
All
moved
right,
out of
so
your channel.
shifting gears here to the Homestead
I should have
Miami
moved him to the
Speedway.
good wrench Chevy just for the heck of it.
Yeah, right.
That would have been funny.
All right, so as I
We
said,
have a spot.
as I said, if you're a betting person, Toby Roberson is the guy that you're looking at here for Homestead, because we have had an absolute carbon copy of same race winners so far here from the last Mega Team event to this one. Palmer winning at Freedom, Mo going back-to-back at Michigan, California. Toby Roberson is the defending winner of this race. However, he's not the only driver that's taken a checkered flag here at Homestead, Miami. Denny Carroll has won here, but if I recall correctly, I think he's already made his 2 starts, so he will not be in the field for this one. Chris Elliott is a former winner here, as well as Dan Lovell, who's not in the field here tonight. Actually, correction, Chris Elliott's a 2-time Homestead winner, and Greg Lovell was the other Homestead winner as well. He also is not in the field. So I think if my calculations are right here, and provided they have only made 1 start each, Roberson and Chris Elliott are the 2 former winners here at Homestead that have a shot of racing in this one.
Here's what I'm going to assume here. Whoever starts in the top 7 is one of those guys are going to win. It just depends on who qualifies where. We've heard that constant time after time. This is a fun track, Seth. You and I enjoy screwing around at this track. We've had so many great fun stories with this track. I don't know if it's the same version, but still. I honestly think the winner's going to be in the top 7, coming from the starting position in the top 7, probably the top 5, not top 3.
So we've talked about here, especially after what happened right there with both the Goodwrench Chevrolets involved in that incident. We don't have a live point stands in front of us, obviously. We can't calculate incident points and everything. You know, we ended up, during the last Mega Team event, we thought it was the I'm on Fire Pontiacs, didn't know what incidents were caused, and ultimately...
Well, technically we were right. We were right without the incidents.
Yep, we were right. So again, like we said, folks, we're trying our best up here to try and give you a general idea of who we believe the favorites are and whatnot. Doesn't mean it's official until obviously everything is calculated. But if you're the 2 drivers, the 2 representatives for the I'm on Fire Pontiacs, if you're the 2 representatives for Team Goodwrench, which side of the coin do you want to be on? Because as of right now, I think we could say the edge is to I'm on Fire, so they have to be on defense, with the hard luck for both the representatives in the race at California. Now the 2 representatives in this one kind of have to be on offense. Which side of the spectrum would you like to be on, specifically here at this racetrack as well, where we know both lanes are able to be utilized?
Well, I look at who's on what team at this point in time. I look at the fact that you have a great lineup as it is right now. We saw Josh Slocum last season do somewhat, or last broadcast, I mean. He was kind of up there in the mix. And now you got Mark Paglia. Mark has plenty of experience at racing. He can be aggressive when he needs to, and we've seen him get the job done, especially in other series. Grant, same way. Alex, we don't need to talk about Alex because we don't talk about Bruno.
He's written his own story.
Yeah. Then you look at the other side of the equation, the Team Goodrich. You got. I've been in a lot of races with Robert Breedlove. I've been in a lot of them, and I've seen this guy force himself to make moves when he shouldn't be making moves. You know what I mean? And actually make it work some way somehow. And he's not afraid to try something. If he thinks it can work, he'll try it. And that's always something special you got to have in your arsenal. You got Ken Roberts and you got Rodney. You got Palmer. We know that these guys are decent enough as well. But what I'm looking at is not this race specifically. Yeah, you will go out and do well. I understand that. But your mind's got to be right now on that Talladega race, honestly, because that's got those are more points that you can net. 4 of you on the track at the same time, trying to lead laps to get those bonus points. And if all the team members lead, that's more bonus points. And I'm looking at kind of a split decision based on our knowledge of Paglia, Mo, and Grant at a plate track. We saw Josh do pretty somewhat. I don't know if he got taken out or if he was actually the highest finisher at the Dega race.
I think he was the highest finisher. I think he finished in the top 10.
Because I noticed that my mind was on him quite a bit on the race at Dega. But you look at Rodney, Ken, Greg. Those guys know how to get it done too. I don't know who else is on that team. I'm drawing a blank. Breedlove, I'm sorry. They all have been around plate racing. Every time I've raced over at Fast or anywhere else, it's been with that group. You know, I've seen them constantly on these plate tracks, so they know how to race. So it's going to be a split down the line battle when we get to Dega, in my opinion. I think that's what it's going to come down to is Dega.
I'll have a little Easter egg as far as Team Goodwrench when we get
Easter
to the main
egg?
event
Don't
as
you
well.
mean goose egg? Because that's all we've been hearing from Grant Wesley's goose egg.
Yeah, but I'll have something a little nugget there, a little statistical nugget when we get to that main event regarding Team Goodwrench. But it's Ken Roberts for Team Goodwrench on the front row here. He's going to get us underway. Someone with a slow start there. The 302 of Jeffrey Elliott.
Oh, big checkup.
Really stacked them all up, and I noticed there on that grid, it looked like one apiece of the Goodwrench Chevrolets and the I'm on Fire Pontiac started towards the front, and then the other two started at the back as someone's around.
Someone around back here.
It's one of the Hellcat Dodges, and it's Bob Sire.
Breedlove's the last car in line now. He's trying to battle Mark Paglia for possession, so they got these two back here running side by side.
And
the
then
next
you've got
one is
Slocum
Josh.
up in 7th?
Seventh. Yeah, 7th at this point. But now we got this one driver up here, Ken Roberts, leading, but he's being hounded pretty heavily behind him right now by a purple machine. I think that's Gary Heiser, is it not?
That is indeed Gary Heiser, who we saw finish runner-up to Alex Moe just moments ago in the previous heat race at California. So he's trying to get that one position better.
Back here. What's RJ doing here? I think RJ might have been involved in something.
Oh, yeah.
Toby's back here, too. He's just now coming off a 4.
Ah, well, there goes the house money. Roberson, the defending winner of this race. And look at this. Looking top. Oh, contact! Ken Roberts from the lead around. Looked like he was trying to move up in front of Heiser, who had the top. They make contact, and now Heiser goes around with contact from Kelly Causey.
Well then, Seth, they're all over the place, aren't they?
Absolutely are. And look what that puts in the lead. Ulysses Sandoval now to the point. Randy Waugh into 2nd, Kelly Causey into 3rd.
All right, 13th and 14th are the Team Goodwrench, and Paglia's running 12th at the moment. The highest one's Josh Slocum at the moment, running 5th. So I don't know how you feeling. You feel lucky with the I'm on fire.
I was actually looking at Team Shake and Bake for a time there with both of their cars up in the top 7, but after Heiser got spun, now that kind of changes that outlook. And Sandoval was looking for his 2nd heat win. He had a previous win back in the 2nd Mega Team event, but that was at Talladega Nights Super Speedway. This is looking for his first heat win on a Speedway configuration.
And now I just want to point out, Seth, that with that happening, the instance, I wonder what the incident reports are going to show off of those now.
Yeah. To your point, I don't know what the RJ Cabana incident was, but there was that kind of block there with Ken Roberts into Gary Heiser, so it could be interesting to see how that scored. And then it was Kelly Causey who got into Gary Heiser, and Causey's still up here in the top 3.
The back end of Ulysses, I'm watching that. The back end is kind of kicking out sly, like he's a little bit loose.
And Randy was trying to take advantage of that on the inside. Little contact between those two down the back straightaway.
Numbers on the inside line stuff, but do the numbers really matter at this point side by side of this track?
No, they don't matter at all. It really just matters about your car and the terms of momentum off the corner. You see Randy Waugh there on that inside line. There's actually, I don't know if it's a bump or a dip down off of turn number 4, and that actually causes the car to bottom out and lose some momentum, but Randy Waugh made it work. He cleared Ulysses Sandoval off of 2.
I'm back here with Breedlove right now. He's 12th at this point, and in front of him is Paglia in 11th. So right now, if you're looking at the team issues regarding Goodwrench versus I'm on Fire currently holds that top advantage over the Team Goodwrench.
Sandoval in second. His teammate Garland Oaks is currently in 10th. But how about the blue Dark Horse Mustangs up here inside of the top 7? Adam Simonik, last time by, was scored in 6th, and actually Stephen Morrison just lost the 7th position to Bob Dixon, dropping back to 8th, but both of them having a good run in this one.
Everyone's misfortune is always someone else's fortune, you know that.
It really is. It really is. And that's why we have basically been talking about, and we've heard from the drivers as well. What are the big goals? Stay out of trouble and get yourself into position where you're not going to be in trouble.
But you notice what we're doing here now? All the way back to Gary Mingus, we're running single file.
That could lead to checkup.
Yeah, and when they do that checkup, that's what you got to do right there. What exactly Jeffrey Elliott did, you got to step out of line. And when you step out of line, is it going to be beneficial or not? But that's the only option you got at this point. Otherwise, you're going to get wrecked, or you're going to wreck someone else in front of you. Because we know at a plate track, it's somewhat, at times, manageable to save it. You can be darted way on that inside line, come right back up, be okay or whatever. It ain't the case this time. And plus, there's no damage at this moment with these guys. There's going to be damage in that team battle.
Correct. There will be moderate damage at the super speedway. This is great racing at the front. Randy Waugh, this might as well be a super speedway with the blocks he's having to make. He covers the momentum on the straightaway low.
Way down there.
And then on the top side, Sandoval keeps getting great runs on that outside line, especially off of 2, but Waugh moves up to cover it.
Battle kind of ensued here with Pagley and Garland Oaks for position. Pagley went way to the bottom.
May not seem like much, but that point is very important to Team I'm on Fire.
Did we have you said the point system's kind of similar to the one last time?
Oh no! Is that Brandstetter and I believe Stephen Morrison?
Yep. And Pagley's around.
Got clipped up in that, did the 3 of Paglia. He'll look to keep going.
Reed Love is by it, and Ken Roberts is going to get by it.
Jump back up to the front with 2.5 to go. Now Sandoval's on the bottom. Jeffrey Elliott up on the top side. And we've seen the outside line is a viable option to make a pass. You go back to the very first heat race in the first mega team event here at Homestead. Chris Elliott made the pass on the outside out of turn 4 to eventually take the lead and the race win. You see Jeffrey Elliott, his brother, trying that top side for second against Sandoval. Randy Waugh sees the momentum, goes up to cover. He's done a great job of keeping both inside and outside line at bay.
I got a question for you. And you may not know this right now, and that's fine. But just out of curiosity, you have Josh Slocum up at 5th, right? We know one of the black Chevys were leading a little earlier, right?
Yep.
With that being said, right now, black Goodwrench Chevrolets are 9th and 10th. And Ken Roberts has Mark Padley dogging him for the 10th position at this moment. But Josh being 5th, who would you give the advantage to point-wise at this point?
Right now, I'm on fire. Definitely I'm on fire. Because they've ended up having Alex Moe obviously win the previous race, when the rest of those other 3 participants from the 2 respective teams of Sandoval, not sure what just happened to him. Oh, was that the checkers? I thought that was the white.
Yeah. Where are you at?
I don't know. I thought that was the white flag they were coming to.
No.
Oh, boy.
No.
Well, Jeffrey Elliott picks up the victory. And that is going to be Jeffrey Elliott's first heat win of these mega team races that we've covered here on FRN. And how about Team Shake and Bake? They had both of their cars finish in the top 5, the last race at California. Obviously, Gary Heiser, we saw him get spun from, I think it was the 3rd position earlier, but Elliott picks up the victory. They could maybe potentially still have a shot here.
I mean, incident-wise, you never know what's going to happen with that.
Exactly. But Jeffrey Elliott gets it done here at Homestead. And take a look here at the finishing results. And Breedlove Roberts down in 9th and 10th. Paglia down in 11th. Slocum in the 5th position. So might be an opportunity for Team Shake and Bake to close up that gap with this win. I believe we have our race winner, Jeffrey Elliott, with us. Jeffrey, you got us?
Woo! Like Ric Flair partnered Garrett
No,
says. Oh
no,
my
no.
gosh, guys, I'm just freaking.
No, that wasn't Jeffrey. That was Chris.
Oh, okay.
I'm shaking in my boots still. What a crazy try to get three guys there in 1.5 laps. That was so much fun.
But
Are you sure you won it, or are you sure Chris didn't win it?
No, that was all Jeffrey Elliott horsepower right there.
Oh, we mentioned about the fact that we've seen in the past an Elliott make the move on the outside here at Homestead for the victory. Your brother Chris did it back in the first heat race in the first mega team event that we covered. You do it here tonight, but you had to get by that 21 who was covering both the lanes. You were able to get that momentum in 3 and 4 and eventually get alongside of him in 1 and 2. How were you able to make that work? Because we talk about it, 4X. The tire wear comes into play, but it seems like this is one of those few tracks where that outside line is still viable even late into the run.
Definitely. Without Kelly, I probably couldn't have got around Randy. He was obviously doing what he had to do to block both lanes there, and kind of scary at times, but we hung it together, 4 or 5 of us there, and it was tight racing. It's all about tire wear and the guy behind you to give you that extra boost. So, without Kelly, thank you, Kelly. That was awesome. Randy, good run. And you, man, was strong. And Josh, he was coming hard.
Getting a victory here for this brand new team's debut in the mega team event. And we were talking about the fact too that, we end up getting into the second half of these heat races, obviously get towards the main event, and we usually will see the early momentum of a team that does well shift and other teams enter into the vicinity. You and your teammate Gary Heiser end up having top 5 finishes at California, building off that with this victory. Looks like a 3-horse race right now between your team, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolets, and the I'm on Fire Pontiacs. How much pressure is there on you guys now here to perform, get those important finishes at the super speedway?
Oh, it's huge. We keep trying to keep each other pumped up, and we're not out of it until the end. And the way the new point structure is, as you know, every 5 positions is the same points, besides the leader winning an extra 20 points for the win itself. But it keeps everybody in the running to this last race here, because this makes a big difference. Like the Factoids, if you didn't know, you guys had no clue. The Factoid team was in second place after halfway through that last mega because of no incidents, and they were only like 40 points off of first place. Who would have thought of that? I didn't.
No.
And it's just
No,
being
we
consistent.
didn't have them on our radar at all.
Not at all. So it's all about being consistent, and you're not having it till it's over with. And it's all about not getting in some wrecks. We got some a few out there tonight. Although I thought the majority of the race has been pretty good. It's hard to get 18 cars around the track in 10 laps, but we try to do our best, and a lot of fun, man. I tell you, I didn't think I really had a chance to get up there to do that, but poor Gary, I don't know what happened to him and Ken. I think that was Ken. I think they got bottled up. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, man, I'll take this victory. I haven't won a race, I don't think, since we started this, maybe one, but it feels good.
So let's shift gears and look towards the upcoming Super Speedway main event race, because, we look at this newly formed Shake and Bake team, some good qualifiers, including yourself on this. So is there a conglomeration of try to qualify at the front, stay at the front? Or you guys have the mindset of maybe hang at the back and see if you can stay out of trouble? Like, do you guys have a formulated strategy at this point in time for the upcoming main event?
Well, we haven't really gotten that far yet to talk about this last race. I just know I got 2 super studs that love Talladega. They're very good. They won championships, and I think they are the cream of the crop in our team. I think a lot of teams have some really good Talladega drivers. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know if you're staying up front or back. This track, all 3 lanes work evenly, man. It's you can get from front to the back pretty quickly if you're with the right people.
Well, Jeffrey Elliott, he's been...
Hey, Jeffrey.
Oh, go ahead. Yep.
A quick question for you. How's everything been going with the server tonight? Have you guys had any issues?
No, it's been working out good.
I'm only asking because I saw Kelly Causey fell out. I didn't know if we were having that same issue like we had on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, we have some people fell out. It's like they got right back in more than usual. But we'll just see as we all learn the new system.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, we just lost Jeffrey. Hopefully he comes back here.
Yeah, I know. So that RJ moved in here, then RJ moved up, and all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
none of
getting
them are
everybody out
missing.
of the team rooms and into one room for the upcoming super speedway race. So, let's see. I don't know. Let's abduct him.
User joined
Oh,
your
I lost you
channel.
guys.
There we
You
go.
there?
Little radio
I got
interference right
moved. I
there.
got someone moved me, but yeah, we're all trying to get everybody back up there. So I apologize for that. But as for strategy, I don't know who I was talking to the last 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but yeah, it's all about the connection. It's been okay. People get back in pretty quickly. So, we all have to learn the new system here and connection issues and the arena. And all around, it's been pretty flawless tonight.
Well, definitely this win puts you and the Shake and Bake team in the conversation for this team championship. One race left to go, and Jeffrey, you're chasing your second team championship. You had the team championship back in the second event with the NWO Chrome Chevrolet, so best of luck on that. Before let's get back to it here, obviously driver admin duties. You got a lot on your plate here this evening, doing a great job, and nice to see you in victory lane. Floor is yours for thank you, sponsors, and shoutouts.
Oh, thanks, Seth. Thanks, Jess. I want to thank all the drivers for coming out tonight. All the drivers ever came out to Talladega Nights. Obviously, you guys, this is our last race under the umbrella of Talladega Nights. It's been a great run for 3 years. We closed it down, but we kept it open for megas. But we're going to be starting that new full throttle sim racing league and run 3 nights, like you mentioned on the broadcast. So with some different admins and different things to put out there. So we're going to continue and keep this game going and have the fun that we all love to do. So shout out to all the drivers. Shout out to anybody that's watching. And thank you very much.
Jeffrey Elliott, your winner here in the final heat race, getting it done at Homestead Miami Speedway. Congratulations once again. Best of luck here in the upcoming main event at Talladega Nights Super Speedway.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
User was moved out of
All
your
right,
channel.
so as of right now, looks like potentially a 3-horse race, but again, we heard there from Jeffrey. We covered this earlier on tonight, with the incident points and everything. We're just trying to give, with what we see with the finishing results, an outlook of who we think is in the contention for this team championship. Doesn't necessarily mean they're at the end of the night when all the incident points and everything they're calculated going to end up winning it. You heard right there, the Factoid team ended up finishing second, and we never even mentioned them in the conversation in the last broadcast. So doesn't necessarily mean you look at these other teams like the Hellcats, former team champions, the Factoid teams, obviously the Dark Horse team, Pennzoil team. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Tonight, it'll come down to performance in the main event with those particular points that you're able to get, but based off of who was clean in those heat races as well is going to go a long, long way.
Yeah, but the question I have now is, we have this thing in this race called pit stops, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And pit stops, those are the wild cards. Especially if we have to pit under green, that's going to be one heck of a run that they're going to have on that.
Definitely is, and we saw green flag pit stops, if I remember correctly, in the last mega team event. And the execution on pit road was very important, not only into where everybody cycled around, but into teammates being able to still find teammates.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was, you mentioned Slocum, he had somebody else with him. Was it Pagli, I think? The two of them were able to find each other and work their way up from outside the top 15 to inside of the top 10, top 7, I think it was, by the close of the night.
But what I'm curious about now, do you want to come in with your teammate, or do you actually want to go with however you want to go? Because early on, I don't know if it really matters or not, but toward the end of that race, that's where it's going to really matter.
It's a good point, because if I remember correctly, when we interviewed some of the podium finishers from the last mega team event, we asked them about the strategy of pitting with teammates or not, and a lot of them said, yeah, we wanted to pit with teammates, but we also wanted to pit with people, even though they weren't necessarily on our team, that we run with on a weekly basis and we're comfortable with in making green flag pit stops. We kind of know their trends of how they pit and how we're able to pit around them. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting kind of moving chess match as well, because for a time, time, even though they may have different liveries, we may end up seeing drivers form alliances, not only on pit road, but maybe even on the racetrack as well. I think it was Ken Roberts mentioned about the fact that, sometimes you can end up losing a ton of positions yourself trying to find teammates. If you keep your foot in the throttle, race aggressively as if you don't have your teammates, eventually they might find you and you're able to move them to the front rather than them drawing you to the back. So it's a moving chess game, and that's what makes team racing so much fun. Makes me glad I'm up here in the booth and not having to have the headache of worrying about it down there on the track.
And now that we're going to qualifying, how do you feel about qualifying at a plate track at this point? Do you think it matters too much in your mind? I mean, the only thing I can see is stall selection, and everyone loves to have that first pit stall. But we've heard other people enjoy. They're like, well, I really, as much as the first pit stall, we're getting the pole matters. A lot of people like to get the second or third one.
Stall selection, yes, I think is a key thing. Another thing maybe is being able to have the ability of having you and all your teammates lead a lap, because bonus points are paid out in that regard. Other than that, just me personally, I'm a coward at heart. When I see a huge field, I want to be at the back, at least in the early going. I want to see everything that's happening in front of me rather than potentially be in the eye of the storm where the dreaded big one might strike. You brought up the point.
Yeah,
All those other heat races, no damage. There is damage in this one. If you're involved in a big one, lap 5, there goes your team's championship host potentially right there.
But I do want to bring up the wild card factor now that you mentioned that. If you're going to be at the back, you need to make sure you stay in draft, because this is technically, it almost races similar to how we race over on Thursday nights, and you know this to be sure. In fact, stay at the back and you're in the tail of a single file line or something, there's a good chance you might end up losing the draft.
It's a fantastic
And if you
point.
lose a draft and you get into a long run, you're going to be pitting by yourself, and that's going to hurt you even more.
That's a great point, and we've had incidents here in the past where they have not brought out a yellow flag. Incidents that occurred down below the yellow line, officials deem it off the racing surface, so you get involved in losing the draft, there's not necessarily always going to be that guarantee that you're going to be able to catch back up to the field and progress the position that you're currently running in. Also, in terms of this as well, we've talked about points all night and everything. It's a little bit easier to gauge holding on to a 5th position or a 10th position to get those extra bonus points from the positions behind you. In super speedway racing, positioning at the start finish line comes down sometimes to thousandths of a second. So with that being said, how aggressive do you think drivers are going to be here, especially in the early going, to maintain track position?
The only point of regression would be coming into pit road, getting ready to make the move to pitting, I would imagine, especially toward the end of this. The last pit stop is what we're going to see with the aggression. My honest opinion, that's first one where it's head. Quick question for you. Do you mind if I move someone real quick?
Go ahead. We got a little bit of time here.
User was moved to your channel.
Alrighty. How you doing, Rodney?
Oh, hello. Just literally crossed the start finish line queuing.
Well, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to have you back. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. A little bummed out. I lost the car at California. That's the first time I've ever wrecked at California like that.
So, Seth, you want to ask Rodney, since he's got more experience at driving, actually winning races than I do, apparently?
Well, Rodney,
Yeah, go ahead.
Reunited, if you will, with your teammates over there at Team Goodwrench, a former team champion back in the first event that we covered with what was then the Blackhurst Chevrolets, and you are a former winner at this main event as well. It's been a little rocky here for you guys. Huh?
About to go racing.
Oh,
yeah,
we are.
we've had a little bit rough. Mainly me. I pretty much killed our chances there in the California race. So we've got some work to do. We're gonna see what we can do here to make it happen.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get to it here. We were hoping to have a little bit longer of an interview, but we don't want to keep you away from being able to communicate with your teammates. So best of luck.
All right, get out there and win one.
Thank y'all very much.
Get out there and win one. Make sure you beat Palmer.
I hear you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
User was moved out of your
All
channel.
right, remember when I said when we got to this race I had a little bit of a statistical nugget? Well, here it is. Team Goodwrench has their 4 participants, Rodney Sullins, Robert Breedlove, Ken Roberts, Greg Palmer. 3 of those drivers in the past Mega Team events have won the main event. Sullins ended up winning the first one, Robert Breedlove won the second one, and Greg Palmer is the defending winner of this race. So if there's a place where Team Goodwrench needs to step up with the hardships they've had at both California and Homestead, it's right here.
3 of the top 4 positions. What do you see?
Look at that, all Team Goodwrench with Sullins on the pole position.
Where's the other one? Okay,
It's at
Palmer.
13th?
It's Palmer.
Looks like 13th place.
Is it Palmer?
Also,
why are we under caution?
The field didn't roll. Okay, we're resetting.
Okay, let's go talk to him again.
Yeah, the leaders didn't roll. See, we could have had the longer interview.
Yeah, see? That's rude. How rude.
All right, so as we wait for everybody to regrid once again, so I mentioned 3 of the former winners of the main event. The other one is, surprise, surprise, Alex Moe. He won this event back in the 3rd Mega Team event. And if you're just joining us, it's looking like, at least for the time being, incident points not counted in, it's looking like it's a 3-horse race amongst 3 different teams. You've got the black Team Goodwrench Chevrolets, which you can see a number of them starting up here at the front. You've got the orange I'm on Fire Pontiac Firebirds, which have 2 victories tonight with Alex Moe. And then, maybe a little bit of an outstanding 3rd place outlying team is the newly formed Shake and Bake team, the Purple Toyotas. Jeffrey Elliott just recently picking up the victory for that team at the Homestead Miami Speedway, but they've had some pretty good finish inside the top 5 in the last 3 heat races. So keep an eye on those 3 teams. Doesn't mean, though, that the other teams are out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
And now you're bringing that up with that team being the fact that you got Jeffrey Elliott, Seminaire, just to mention, that's just mentioning 2 people who actually have that, good
Donnie Garrett as well.
Yeah, Donnie's in there. Who's the one? Gary Heiser?
Gary Heiser.
Heiser's been known to be up near the front from time to time at plate tracks, and if he's not caught up in something. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens here at Talladega with all these drivers that we've known in the past to run Dega pretty decently here.
And Heiser had some good momentum in those final 2 heat races, too.
I do want to point out, look at the last row. What do you see?
Aha!
Yeah, again,
for those that may not know, when we covered the 3rd Mega Team race, Alex Moe won the event from starting out back, and he's there again, as is Jeffrey Elliott, who's normally a really good qualifier, but he elected to start at the rear of the field as well. We'll see what strategy works out. As at the front, though, it is all Team Goodwrench. Rodney Sullins going to lead him to the green, 47 laps in tonight's main event.
Oh boy, this is actually going to be really good. I mean, I don't expect them to be too crazy. I mean, I could be wrong though. But like you were alluding to it earlier about the aggressiveness stuff, and honestly, with the caliber of drivers, you really expect a really good clean race for like the first 3 quarters of this race, and it's going to get really hectic, especially with the caliber of talent that we see here tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Grant's in this race tonight. Bob is. Kelly Causey, Danny Carroll. We've seen Danny Carroll up at the front be really aggressive over there at RTG when he needs to, and he's made it work for him. So, and then you got drivers like Alex Moe who seem to randomly come out of nowhere at any time. You got the Elliots who work pretty well together on plate tracks as well. And again, the teams, I mean, have you ever noticed that when we actually do qualifying for this race, they're always a team and another team close by and another team close by? It's like they have the special knack to be close together all the time.
And I'm not sure how they're able to manipulate that, especially when qualifying at Super Speedway usually is super, super close in terms of lap times. But you're absolutely right. I mean, we had a number of the Team Goodwrench cars up here. You can see 3 of the Team Pennzoil cars here. I think rolling off the grid, I saw 3, if not all 4, of the blue Dark Horse Mustangs were all around each other. So, I don't know how they managed to work that out. They set down lap times. They don't just let it go based off of random qualifying draw mostly. So, it's pretty cool how that works out.
Heiser and Elliott are back at the back along with Alex Moe and Josh Slocum. And just a heads up on that, we saw Josh Slocum at the back last time too.
We
I
did.
think he started like 4th, and he went way up high and went way to the back or something. Or he started near the front and he went way to the back and hung around the back for a while.
And eventually made his way back up forward late. Yep.
Yeah, and that actually helped him at the end of the race. I mean, it just seems like there's a pattern here, and side by side, several rows deep. I'm just waiting to see when they're going to force that 3rd lane to start.
Well, Kelly Causey, for a brief moment back on the 1st or 2nd lap, jumped up to the 3rd lane. I don't know if he got forced there or was trying to make something happen. It didn't work. He was led back in line by Bob Dixon, and now he's been able to make his way to the bottom.
The dark horse back here went way up there to look. They peaked. There's 3 on the high side, 1 on the bottom, but I think that 1 on the bottom is going to move up between. I don't know. They're kind of iffy where they want to move to at this point. So.
I remember we talked about that they may not necessarily have the same livery, but drivers will find drivers they are comfortable working with. Grant Wesley in the Pontiac being pushed by a couple of teammates there. The 200 of Kelly Causey, the 202 of RJ Cabana, kind of working together with an alliance against the Team Goodwrench Chevrolets.
Dark horse. Oh, there they go. There they go. There's a wreck back here.
Caution's out. That was one of the Hellcat cars.
Rod Weston. And then there's a follow-up wreck up here where it looks like it's Javier Negron. And there's a car in the infield, Stefan Morrison, I believe.
Yep, I think you're right. Yep, the 12.
Yep. So, yeah, a couple things to look at. I have a feeling they'll come in. Drivers up near the front, they'll probably come in, quickly top off, and just go back out on track. That's usually the common thing we're used to seeing. So you want to take us back on the replay on that one, Seth?
Yep, so Stefan Morris. Whoa, wait a minute. Did somebody just spin back here?
Did they?
On the back straightaway? Yeah, that was one of the Goodwrench cars, Greg Palmer.
Let me go look at what Palmer did.
I don't think he hit anything, but I just saw him shoot off to the left there. I don't know if he maybe got a bump from behind as they were checking up, catching the pace car here on the back straightaway.
He started slowing down, and 23 bumped him. And Palmer did not hit anything.
Okay. It looked like the skid marks didn't go all the way down there, so fortunate there for him.
He's good. He's good.
I would be a little bit concerned, though, for Rod Weston, because we're going to look at the replay, but it looked like that car went not head first, but head on into the outside wall. Of course, the engine housed in the front end of the race car. Here's a look at it. Oh, gets a little tap there. Garland Oaks. Looked like Rod might have been trying to force 4 wide there. He was trying to get by one of the blue Dark Horse Mustangs. He had another car to his outside.
Was it Stefan? Because remember, Stefan and Javier also had an issue at that point, just further down the line.
No, it was, I believe, Adam Simonik he was trying to make the pass on. Take a look from the chopper cam, see if they were indeed 4 wide, or was it just a really close 3 wide. Here it is. Yeah, he's looking to come down in front of Garland Oaks, and he was not clear. And then Javier Negron gets spun off the nose of, I believe that was the 12, who goes through the grass. Javier is able to get it going again. And that's what brings out the yellow flag. This caution, this incident, pretty close towards the rear of the field. And what do you think? Is that a case of drivers trying to experiment, see what lines work? Or is it drivers that didn't get the benefit of a good qualifying effort, getting a little desperate in the early going to move their way up to the front?
I think it's okay. Well, we're here. We're together. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can't move forward. Not get too crazy of like, oh, it's desperate time. But, you know, finding each other and starting to try to make your way forward and seeing what you can do to see if we get people to go with you. I don't think it's desperation moment yet.
So you mentioned
that right there, being 6-7 laps in at this point, that's going to throw off the pit cycle a little bit. So now we'll have to see how this plays out moving forward.
Yeah, to your point, looks like a split decision, at least up to this point. We ended up having most of the leaders come down pit road, but scoring has 14 drivers that elected to stay out here under this caution, which means that Rodney Sullins, Ken Roberts, Robert Breedlove, who are up there at the front, Grant Wesley, Kelly Causey, who are battling them, they're going to restart back currently outside of the top 10, 15th place on back.
Quick question: did you I didn't hear if you did or didn't because I was looking at pit road, making sure no one wrecked. Did you cover the Javier and Morrison issue?
Yes.
What was that with that one? Did they make any contact with a wall or anything?
So no contact with the wall for Morrison, little contact for Javier Negron, but it didn't look like much. And Cabana's coming to pit road. So this is some mind games here. I'll let you finish your point, and then I'll talk about why Cabana stayed out.
Well, it's being moderate damage, so I don't think you're saying just a little contact, not enough. So I think you should be okay because the moderate damage is pretty forgiving.
Yep, I agree with you. So people probably wondering why RJ Cabana would give up all that track position to lead that lap. There actually are bonus points that drivers can get for their respective teams. If you end up leading a lap for your team, it's a bonus point per driver. But if all 4 of the drivers end up leading a lap at some point in the race, there is an extra bonus point payout. And so I believe RJ Cabana is the only driver for his team so far, the Team Pennzoil Chevrolets, that has led a lap. But if we see Kelly Causey or Mike Mangialardi get up there to the front as well and end up leading some laps, then they may end up getting some very valuable bonus points that could help them maybe get into the conversation for this team championship. Looks like Bob Dixon doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Bob Dixon's staying out another lap as well. I mean, a couple of drivers behind him, I'm sure they'll probably come in to pit this lap. If they don't, they're going to be kind of in a bit of a pickle if it goes to a long green flag run, especially with how close and how fast these guys are racing, especially when you're by yourself. You don't want to be lapped at a plate track specifically. And Alex Moe coming off pit road now. Josh Slocum back here as well, 33rd position. Seth, it seems like we were pretty accurate with how these guys are. We see the Team Goodrich up front. We see Alex Moe, Slocum hanging around in the back, just relaxing. We haven't really seen too much aggression or, like you were saying earlier, desperation. Like I said, I honestly think they just moved out of the line trying to grab more people to go with them to try to get near the front. I don't think it's really desperation at this point yet. Just check in and see what will happen.
So we're working an early caution here in our main event, and no, Dixon's not coming to pit road. Looks like most of these guys are going to be committed to staying up here. I think top 11 right now are those that did not come to pit road under this caution period. So that does benefit the leaders that pit. They'll be restarting now 12th on back.
Oh,
but
Alex Moe and, oh wow, 3 of the I'm on fire cars are all together here on pit road. This might be strategy here on their part. Not just fuel, but also to find each other.
Yep. It's a good call. So Dixon's going to be the one to lead us back to green over Denny Carroll. You see the lights out atop the pace car. And just moments ago, big congratulations, Justin Allgaier, 2024 Xfinity Series champion. How about that? Finally gets one.
Who won the truck championship?
Ty Majeski. This has been an interesting season so far. Kind of like drivers that have been trying, not been able to close out the deal, finally getting championships.
So, anybody get punched in the face?
No, not in this one. As a matter of fact, Allgaier actually moved over and gave the win to Riley Herbst so he didn't get dumped. Herbst had a good card, and I think he won both stages and ended up winning the race, so.
Well, we've seen Riley come up to the ranks and actually be someone that we should actually watch moving forward. I don't think he's got talent. Also, I'm just saying I'm not a fan of Riley at the moment, depending on what team he actually goes to and what number he drives. But at this point in time, I'm not one of his biggest fans. I'm not most knowledgeable about Riley, but I do notice that he's got a lot of talent.
Yep, same.
Anyway, Seth, lap 8, about to go back to green, start lap 9 here. It's going to be kind of iffy here. We can go about, 18, 19 laps on a can of fuel, on 2 cans of fuel, I mean. So, what are we looking at, about...
Oh, it's borderline one stop, maybe. I don't know. Well, at least for the drivers at pit. These guys up here at the front, no way they can make a one stop.
They might be able to take less fuel at the last pit stop. That might actually be beneficial. Who knows?
Now, you talked about the I'm on fire Pontiacs coming to pit road so they could find each other. How about the drivers that stayed out to try to find each other? You've got 3 of the Hellcat Dodges on that top side. You've got 4 of the Chrome NWO Chevrolets on the inside line, so maybe playing that type of strategy to all find each other as well, though it will put them at a fuel deficit to the rest of the drivers behind them as Bob Dixon gets us back under the green.
Whoa, 202 72 did not go back here. Or the 202 did try to go, but 72 did not go. That might have been either a bad time or he might have destroyed a gear, I don't know. But Palmer restarted this back in 28, so he's got some work to do to find his teammate and go somewhere.
And Rodney Sullins restarted in 11th. He's got his teammates behind him there with Ken Roberts and Robert Breedlove. We'll see how long they decide to ride in that second lane, or do we see them jump up to the third lane potentially? As Dixon now has the Factoids cars behind him. That's the 143 Gary Mingus and the 243 of John Fajoin. Oh, spinner!
Why?
10 car around, and this is going to be a big wreck at pit entry.
Whoa! Breedlove got turned, but he saved it.
Bob Sire with a lot of back-end
damage.
damage.
Just got hit in the quarter panel. I don't know how much damage it's going to do arrow-wise with him. Jeffrey Elliott's around up here.
Robert Jackson is the first driver. There he is that I saw get out of shape. There's Garland Oaks in the 71.
The one machine's fine.
202's on pit road of RJ Cabana. I don't know if he went down there to avoid the wreck. I'm guessing he did.
I want to back this up and check and see if all the I'm on fire guys got through it okay. Because like I said, I did see one of the drivers get tagged.
Take a look at a replay. We'll focus on the 10 of Robert Jackson. He's the one I saw get spun there through the entrance of turn 4. Car behind him is the 23 of Bob Sire. Looks like Randy Waugh moving up there to throw a block on Robert Jackson as Jackson comes back down. Bob Sire is there. There's a Factoids car that was up into the wall also. Wow, was that RJ Cabana that just had Robert Jackson slide down in front of him? Narrowly avoids. Let's try and get another camera angle here. See if we can pinpoint who that Factoids car was that was looked like squeezed into the wall. Might have been the 343 or maybe the 443 of Steven Brandstetter. Spin is already in progress here as we show you. Looks like another of the blue Dark Horse Mustangs also was collected up in that one. And we'll now give you an aerial shot to show you any other drivers that might have been collected. I believe the other blue Dark Horse machine was the 11 car of Doug Firth.
I do want you to do a quick look at something real quick. Right on board or look at the 30 of Ken Roberts in that wreck, because he got hit at the right front from a driver. I don't know how much damage he's got.
Okay.
Just give me an idea on that, because I was just riding with the I'm on Fire guys. They seem to be fine. Reload got a little bit of a tag, but he saved it. He went to pit road, but that'll just be a penalty. He should be fine. No damage on Breedlove's machine.
I think Breedlove ran into the back of one of the
Dark
Horse
but
cars.
there was no damage on Breedlove. I double checked on that. I'm just worried about the 30 machine.
Here's on board with Ken Roberts. Ooh, hard to tell. Ooh, yeah, almost twice there. Looked like it got close to hitting him in the right front.
So I don't know if that's going to hurt Roberts or not, because I don't know. It's 148 miles an hour.
I didn't hear contact, but it looked like visibly there would have been at least some hitbox contact there.
Nah, I guess we'll have to see when we get restarted, huh?
Guess so.
Well, we're working the caution, Seth. Is this time for you to step aside and take a break for a
I think so. We've been running quite a while here, and we got the opportunity to take an FRN race break. You'll see the drivers kind of play the strategy here with leading laps under this second yellow flag, and we'll get you geared up for the upcoming restart in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Coverage continues right after this. We welcome you back to coverage of the Talladega Nights Mega Team event. Last time it'll be under the Talladega Nights umbrella, as they'll be moving over to Full Throttle Racing. And we are in our main event here, with 13 laps about to be completed of our 47-lap main event. We've already completed the heat races, and Jesse, you and I were just talking here during this race break. If you look at our top four, you've got the Factoids teammates on the front row with Mingus and John Burgoyne, and then you've got the Hellcat teammates in Denny Carroll, Randy Waugh. They've not pitted yet. They've had two opportunities, these two cautions to pit, but it looks like they're going to go to that lap 19, lap 20 mark, probably banking on a caution before then.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, based on the fact that they're wanting that last caution, probably to, get everything sorted out, which I understand, but you're going to give a lot of track position to do that, because these guys that are coming in are going to take less fuel, or maybe hardly anything at all on that last stop. So, and you and I were talking about it, the I'm on Fire cars coming together on that last part. There's three of them right there together now. Hadley, Alex Moe, and Slocum all together. But what I'm looking at is, did you notice that based on that last caution, this has divided up that Goodwrench team pretty good here?
It really has, for sure. You've got Rodney Sullivan's up in 10th, but then you got to go all the way back to 15th, 16th for Ken Roberts, Greg Palmer. And yeah, as you said, 26th for Robert Breedlove. But Breedlove...
Whoa, stacked up here.
I don't know, extended stay on pit road for Breedlove maybe because of the contact from that yellow? Not sure.
3 wide with Breedlove. Sorry. So it's like there was a slow start on that inside line, and everyone was kind of moving to the middle to try to get around here, unless they're really trying to they got one off the pace up here, Seth.
That's the 12 down on the inside line. Not sure what's going on with him, but looks like Stephen Morrison dropping to the back. And you see up here at the front, this is what I was talking about of sometimes you get yourself into trouble trying to work with teammates. It looked like Gary Mingus and John Burgoyne were trying to do the Joey Logano coined phrase okie dokie, and look how it lost them the front row, lost them the lead. Denny Carroll now going to go to the point with help from Kelly Causey and Mike Mangialardi. So sometimes working with teammates works out, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I would imagine that I'm looking back here at the I'm on Fire guys. Kind of annoyed here. I could tell they were kind of annoyed here by the 20 machine of Rod Weston, who wouldn't get out of their way. And Weston, I believe, has a little bit of damage from earlier on, maybe. I don't know. He's just... They were running right behind him, and right when they got to it, they all freaking started going down. It's like, yeah, we need to get by you, bud. They're already kind of losing a little bit of the pack here. They're having to reform themselves up. So, at this point, if it were me, Seth, I would feel like and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this. The ones I'm looking at to take, pretty much a beneficial advantage is the I'm on Fire cars, based on coming in every single caution on the last lap, and there are 3 of them finding each other constantly. So if this thing goes green, which it doesn't look like they're going to go green with the 3 wide racing they're doing, right now I think the ones that are in the catbird seat are the I'm on Fire cars.
And they're also being at the back, not only finding each other, but being able to stay out of trouble if trouble breaks out ahead of them. We almost had an incident just moments ago with Gary Mingus pushing up into Randy Waugh.
Team Michelob guys down there trying to get in line, having to back off to let each other in.
3 wide, 7, 8 rows deep right now. You've got a Hellcat Dodge leading the bottom and Denny Carroll, another one leading the top and Randy Waugh. They're both being pushed by Shake and Bake Toyotas.
I honestly don't think this is going to end well. No, because they're not. We're seeing a lot of movement around in each line, and all it takes is one slip up and someone tries to take advantage, make it 4 wide, or just push up and lightly tap. And we got Breedlove in the middle of this. At the very high side, up closer to the front, we've got Ken Roberts up there. On the bottom, we've got Palmer. The only ones that seem to be kind of safe at this position right now would be Rodney and Grant.
Cars I'm especially seeing doing a lot of dancing, especially through the corner or in that middle groove, which is the worst place you want to have cars dancing around, because there's not a whole lot of room to be able to slide back and forth with a car to your inside and a car to your outside, and that car to the outside is going to be pushing you down.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jinx anyone, but I honestly see it coming. They're going to wreck. And there's one on the apron. He's okay. And the one that I saw hit the apron was Breedlove.
This is Sandoval now has moved up to the top side. He's got a couple of teammates down the bottom, but he's up on the outside line. Now looks like also moving up in front of Jeffrey Elliott.
We got the NWO team back here, Seth. They're all formed up, ready to go on that high side. Got one out of place, obviously, but
there
still.
They are.
4 out of 5.
Also add in the 13 of Adam Simonik into that group, potentially to work with them. And now Gary Mingus getting shuffled up there to the outside line in the 143.
All right, let RJ introduce up, guys, because he's... Yeah, there you go, RJ. RJ was between two cars. He's like really tight. They're closing down, pushing up. It's like, yeah, you don't want to put your nose in the middle of that one.
At the front, Ulysses Sandoval now taking the lead. We saw him in the conversation for the victory. You know, one of those other people that...
No.
You, man, gracious.
Mirror driving.
But he was in the conversation for the victory in the last heat race at Homestead. He has a heat win here at this racetrack. That was back in the second mega team race. And trying to hold off now Randy Waugh, who moved back up to the top.
All right. So now we got to really start paying attention to those drivers who did not come into pit, because we're hitting lap 19, coming to lap 20. They're going to be running on fumes.
It's a great point. Those drivers right now would be the two Hellcat cars, the 21 and the 22 of Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll, and then two of the Factoids cars, which are back around mid-pack, Gary Mingus and John Fergoyne.
Oh, I thought you said there was 11 or something I didn't pit.
There were in the first caution, but then only 4 that hadn't pit after the second.
Okay, that's where I lost the idea.
But Randy Waugh's stuck on that outside line. Denny Carroll's on the bottom, but Randy Waugh's got no lane unless maybe he can fall back and tuck it in front of the 22. If he lets him down, that's the only chance Randy Waugh's going to have a lane to pit road. And we're 3 wide again. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, all these rows back.
Team Pennzoil going up there. All 4 of the NWO Chrome cars are up there.
Breedlove went to the bottom.
Here comes Shake and Bake up the middle. Remember we talked about them after Jeffrey Elliott's win at Homestead. These are maybe the outlying third team.
Oh, Team Pennzoil getting together up there at the top. We got 2 of the black Chevys up in the middle.
At the front, one of the Goodwrench cars got out of shape. That was Rodney Sowens. He saves it.
A little wiggle.
What's going on back here? One of the STP cars down there.
There's a wreck up here.
Oh, there's 2 wrecks. And there's another massive pileup. One car up and into the air. Was that Bob Sire, I think? We got 2 Pennzoil cars flipping. Massive barrel roll for, is that Causey? Yes, it is. Adam Simonik is upside down. 3 of the Pennzoil cars were in that. Cabana was involved. Mangialardi was involved. Causey went for a barrel roll. Blaine Donlan's done. That car's smoking at the bottom of turn 3.
The first incident I saw was with the 303, which was behind the group of the 10 Pennzoil.
Yes, that's what I was focused on too. Did not see the incident in front that happened at the same time.
I do have a recommendation though. On one of the replays, I would prefer to have you ride with Mark Paglia as he went his way through that one.
Okay, we will do that. Jeffrey Elliott and Donnie Garrett, a couple of teammates, 1-2 crossing the line there. So we'll go back and take a look at what happened. Third caution of the night.
That was something, wasn't it?
That was a massive one. We dodged some bullets of drivers being able to continue from the first 2 cautions. That is not going to be the case with this one. Kelly Causey already out of the race.
With the 33 getting out of shape at the front with Rodney, and then everything else kind of getting all haywire behind him.
Let's try and figure out exactly who the contact is with. And looks, well, no, we missed it. It looked like maybe one of the Hellcat Dodges up ahead. Denny Carroll or Randy Waugh got out of shape. There's left side of your screen, Kelly Causey going for the barrel roll. Let's focus a little further forward in the field. Let's go to the 21. Is he trying to get down?
Oh,
no! That was the leader. Ulysses Sandoval got spun by Denny Carroll. Wow.
That started with someone not lifting up a little bit too much in the corner and just pretty much just running right through is what it looked like on my end. I don't know what his speed was. I haven't railroad back with him, so I don't know what you
Oh
want to do with
yeah,
that.
it looked like there. Denny Carroll never got off of Ulysses Sandoval, and that's a recipe in two ways for disaster. Is the wreck occurring at the lead, so it's right up at the front, and then it's also entering into a corner. Usually the corner wrecks are where you see a lot of the big hits and a lot of drivers swept up because you don't really know what lanes are going to be available to be able to sneak through. Here's a look again. Take a look at the hits into the outside wall right here. Man. And then further back was the contact between the 303 of Gary Heiser, who got into, I think it was Javier Negron. That was what we were focused on when it happened and didn't see the wreck that occurred at the front of the field up ahead. I believe he said Paglia for the onboard.
Yeah, I would love to go on board with Hadley because that guy right there, he stayed at the back. Remember with Slocum and all them? Hadley is someone who always wants to be up near the front and run, based on what we've seen in the past. He's always near the front, top 15, or hands down. This race, he's been playing it safe in the back there with his teammates, and this time it looked like it really paid off.
Here's a look at it. Gets past the first incident, and look at what he sees in front of him. Causey with the wild ride. One of the Team Goodrich cars got in that, Jess. Palmer in the 32.
Yeah,
not sure how bad his damage is.
Palmer moved down low right when all that incident was going on in the backstretch and looked like he was going to be okay. He get a little bit bumping based on, I believe it was Ken Roberts that got out of shape on the backstretch, right? Or no, it was Rodney. Got a little out of shape on the backstretch. And they all kind of weaseled their way down to the bottom. Everything was fine. And all of a sudden that flip happened and there was a car that landed right in front of Palmer that went up in the air, and that's all it was bam. Couldn't do nothing about it.
Well, this is the caution that those four drivers that had not pitted the entirety of this race needed. They're now going to be able to come to pit lane here under caution rather than under green. They were only, probably 1-2 laps away from when they were going to have to make the dive onto pit road. So this saves them.
I do want you to take note that there are 4 drivers out of the race and 2 cars a lap down.
Those 4 drivers, most recently Ulysses Sandoval, also Kelly Causey, Chris Elliott, and Bob Sire. We did not have Team Ultra, Team Pennzoil, Team NWO, or Team Hellcat, at least on initial look, in the conversation for the team championship tonight, and each one of those respective teams are going to lose a member with those DNFs. You mentioned about the drivers a lap down. Blaine Donlin. I don't know if they're going to get him back out there or not. We've seen stranger things where a driver is smoking coming to pit road and they somehow get him back out there and let him complete some laps. But he's a lap down, as well as Adam Simonik, who ended up obviously having to call the tow after he was upside down in the grass over at the exit of turn number 4.
But again, going back to what I'm thinking, I just cannot stress enough how great strategy that was by the I'm on Fire team to stay at the back there like that. Because that right there, I mean, you saw Mark get through that. I mean, we always see Mark near the front, near like top 10, top 15, driving, 3 wide aggressive, however, trying to get up to the front, right? We see that all the time, but this time, something with that team, they wanted to go every single time in the last lap and be back there and be together. That right there is teamwork and strategy right there, Seth, to be able to have enough patience to sit there and just be a teammate and make that work. And look what happened. It paid off great. I'm just really in awe by the decision that that team made, because it looks like it shows right there.
It's definitely a great call. And another team that's been making some great calls, even though they may not necessarily be gaining track position out of it, is the Factoids cars. I believe now 3 of those machines have led a lap there. You saw Steven Brandstetter stayed out and led a lap. Gary Mingus and John Burgoyne, they've also led laps here. I'm trying to find, I think their 4th member is not in the field. I believe Larry D was the driver of the 343, and he is not in the field here, so I don't know how that goes in terms of scoring of lap led, but the 3 Factoids cars in this race have led a lap. Also, If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Adam Simonik got the free pass. I don't know if Blaine Donlin got the free pass, but both drivers are back on the racetrack and have continued on. Both of them were scored a lap down, but Simonik, I believe, will be back on the lead lap for this upcoming green. Rodney Sullins, he started on the pole position, and he'll be getting us back under green as we are now past the halfway point. He'll have teammate Ken Roberts to his outside. Looks like third position is going to be Jeffrey Elliott. He'll have his teammate alongside him and Donnie Garrett. Then it's Grant Wesley, Perry Bond, Bob Seminaire, Garland Oaks, Robert Breedlove, Mark Paglia, the top 10. 30 cars running, 29 should be on the lead lap on this upcoming restart. Are we in the window to make it the rest of the way here, do you think, or are we borderline short?
Well, I'm looking at that. That's actually what I was doing. So, what, 25? We're going to go back to green 26. I mean, the lights are off here. It's going to be tight. I'd imagine really tight. I don't know. We might see some guys try to start throwing in the clutch or half throttling a little bit to save a little bit of what they can. But pretty much, if everyone wants to be happy, they're going to bank on that one more caution.
If you're leading, you definitely can't make it the rest of the way.
Well,
we know that.
If we look at the trend with CTS fall off, it's about what, 18, 19 laps.
Yeah.
So
median,
and even if we get 20, that's still 45 out of 47.
So probably need at least one more yellow to get into the fuel window to make it the rest of the way as the green flag is back out.
The only question is how short are they, and will they stay out the clutch and see if they could save it? That's what we're going to wonder. And the people who were damaged, we're going to have to figure out if they're going to be up to full speed and whatnot, because they're going to stay in this race, even if they are off the pace, to see what their team can do and see what points they can pick up.
Yeah, I think the 13 of Adam Simonik, the 7-12 of Blaine Donlin are going to be majorly off the pace. You've got some others back there that got bits and pieces of that last caution. Not sure, jury's out on just how up to speed they're going to be as Jeffrey Elliott forges ahead to this race lead. And look at all the purple up here. We got 3 of the shake and bake cars up here inside of this top 10. Ooh, somebody back there I think just disappeared. Oh,
whoa,
yeah,
there's a warper.
Yep, that's who it was. It's one of the Dark Horse cars.
Stephen Morrison warping it pretty good back here.
Saw that gap there between the front of the pack and that second group. Knew there was somebody they were backing off for. Wasn't certain exactly who, but hopefully he's able to get out of harm's way and that second group can move on by. It's interesting you brought up the fact there of Mark Paglia kind of adjusting the strategy, going back there with his teammates and everything, kind of maybe something outside of what he's comfortable with. You look at the guy who's leading this race, Grant Wesley. He's been the only one of the I'm on Fire Pontiacs that has not adhered to the strategy of giving up track position and coming to pit road.
Do you really expect Grant to do what everyone else is doing?
No, but I'm just making an observation here. It's kind of like you guys do your strategy. I'll see you up. Oh, no, wreck!
Oh!
Up in the air goes, I think that's Robert Breedlove.
What did you just say?
And it was, I believe, at least one. Oh, man, that's Paglia.
Oh, my gosh, we were just talking about Paglia doing such a good job, too.
And there is Breedlove right behind him as well. That was one of the I'm on Fire cars, one of the Good Wrench cars, and I think, well,
Alex
maybe he was
off of that or what?
I think he might have slowed in time, but I'm not sure. And I don't know if Gary Heiser was involved or not, or if he just slowed to get through.
Alex slowed. He didn't get any contact with anybody.
Was Javier Negron involved? Is this from this incident or from a previous incident? Because that thing is crunched. Well, Mark Paglia is pretty badly damaged as well, and I believe it's going to start with Paglia and Breedlove getting together. At least that was the first 2 cars I saw out of shape. Let's go back and take a look at how this one started. Breedlove's on the bottom, Paglia's on the top.
Oh, there was a little bit of contact, bumper grab. from Seminare's back bumper. If you
Oh,
look at
yep.
that right there, that's all it took, just a little bit higher up. And that's what we always talk about with how we run in lines sometimes. Sometimes drivers are one line and the other drivers want to move up a little bit more or however they want to run. They're not always in a straight line based on their settings and their preferences and whatnot with their steering. And Reload was just a little bit higher up, and when he made that little bit of a maneuver to adjust, boom, a little bumper grab is all it took, and that's what started that. Just really, it's bad bumper grab. You know, the hitbox on this, we've always had that issue with the hitboxes, haven't we, Seth?
And that's also coming out of the tri-oval too, and that banking out of the tri-oval usually will push that car on the inside line up a little bit. And with Breedlove all over the right rear quarter panel, it kind of seemed inevitable that there was going to be some bumper grab there. We saw with the chopper cam, Javi Negron was involved. He got clobbered from behind, but it looked like the 12 of Stefan Morrison. So that's where all that rear end damage came from. But wild ride for Robert Breedlove as his back end kicked up into the air. The 3 of Paglia upside down, and you see right there the teammate, the orange 0 of Alex Moe, he did slow to avoid. So did Gary Heisers. They were not involved. They just almost came to a crawl to make sure that they weren't going to get collected up in that incident. But you mentioned it too, Jess, about drivers getting involved in the wrecks here, more than likely going to be off the pace. At the same time, though,
Did I not? I just want to point this out. Did I not call it early on that it would be a little bit more ramping up with the determination, the aggression, and whatnot toward the third quarter, going into the last bit of this race?
Yep.
And as we're seeing it, we're having cautions breed cautions in the racing. When they are racing, they're going 3 wide and becoming a little bit more aggressive now.
The aggressive level will kick up. Room will be less to come by. More
And they're
give,
good
or
on
more
fuel.
take than give.
They're good to go on fuel now.
That's
There's no
true.
reason.
And that sometimes just kind of opens the floodgates more in terms of aggressiveness of the fact of, you know, pit road's no longer a factor. You're settling it out above that yellow line.
See, I think, Mark, I believe, is still on the track. I don't know how well he is right now. He's going to the back.
But here's the thing with that, though. I mean, we know that the 712 is off the pace. We know that the 13 is off the pace.
Did you say 712? Are you sure it's not Seminaire? Calm down.
No, Blaine Donlin.
Okay, just making sure.
But I'm seeing cars out there with no back ends, with roof damage and everything. With this being a team race, there's no guarantee that this race is going to finish under green. There could be more drivers involved in wrecks, more carnage. These drivers that have got all this damage and might be off the pace for the remainder of this thing, I'm not going to say they're contractually obligated, but they're in a way obligated to just finish the race out just in case they can pick up an extra 1 or 2 or 3 spots for their respective teams.
You're forgetting the other factor, too. If they are far off the pace, and if they can get caught in the next 17 or 15 laps on a green flag, how beneficial will your teammate be in trying to help slow up a lane?
Maybe try and play for a pick. Yeah, potentially.
I mean, we've seen that happen in the past. I mean, I'm not going to go out there, but we have seen that happen.
Well, the timing of this yellow worked out for a couple of drivers. Remember, we were talking about both Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh. They hadn't pit under the first 2 cautions. They got the timely yellow with the 3rd yellow flag. This one now puts them back up inside of the top 5. They're going to restart in 3rd and 5th.
I got a question. Can I bring someone in real quick?
Let's see. Yeah, we got lights still on the pace car, so go ahead.
User was moved to your channel.
Chris, you got me? Chris, you there?
Yo, yes.
All right. So, based on, I know you're out, and that was unfortunate from earlier, but how's the racing going so far? Good to see you back.
Well, thank you, Jess. Good to hear your voice and see you out here. I haven't talked to you in a while, and it's a mega team race. It's always a lot of fun. I like the sprints and the big mains. Always fun to look forward to at the end of the night. So it's racing. I got involved in a pretty bad wreck and was put out, but hey, it happens, right?
You got any questions for him, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely been seeing as the race goes on, the aggression level kind of picking up here, but it looked like you and your teammates had a pretty good strategy going. You'd all been able to get up to that outside line. Jess and I were kind of talking about this. You've touched on the point that it seems like, and I don't know how this works out, but it seems like when drivers for respective teams qualify somehow, they managed to all qualify around each other. And I believe your team was one of the first one to get all 4 drivers organized. How do you guys finagle that, or is that just the way the lap times fall? I mean, how does that work out?
It's funny you noticed that, huh? We noticed that too. I mean, we weren't up to the front, but we had 4 of us together there somewhere during that race, and we're like, "Wow, this is great." But that was just luck. We weren't trying to. I mean, we wanted that to happen, but it happened, and it was good. And then we decided we were going to stay low because all those wrecks, sometimes it collects on that outside. And for some reason, we changed our strategy to go to the outside because it was moving. And then the big wreck happened, and of course, all the outside cars got mangled up pretty bad, and we were up there. I mean, Blaine got hit hard, pretty hard. Blaine can only go 150 right now. So, but it's unfortunate. But it was fun. We were flying on that outside there for a little while.
Also, real quick, Chris, haven't really got your take on it and how you're feeling knowing that this is Talladega Nights, last banner fly here and moving forward. How does it make you feel moving forward with the full throttle thing coming in?
Well, I'm happy that it's still going to be going on with the new name change to Full Throttle. Sad that Talladega Nights is going to go away as far as the name goes because, for 3 years we worked hard and got that thing built up pretty nice and had a lot of good, fun times there for 3 years. But it'll still go on. I mean, nothing much has changed really. So I think it'll be just fine. It's a weekend league basically, and there's not a lot of leagues out there to run on a weekend, so you always have a chance, opportunity to get good driver counts, and we had a good core of drivers for the last couple of years that always come down here, so it's been pretty good.
Well, settling in for what should be a heck of a finish year tonight. Sorry that you're not going to be part of it there. Hate to see you out of this race, Chris, but best of luck here to you and your team here to close out this mega team race here for Talladega Nights, and appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here.
All right. I see we're going green. Thanks, Seth. Thanks, Jess. We'll catch you guys next time.
Absolutely. So it's Bob Seminara who's going to be leading us to the green. He'll have Bob Dixon to his outside, so it's an all-Bob front row. That's going to be
No. There's factoids and biscuits.
Oh, you're so right. Actually, I wonder if tonight we'll actually get the factoids from Bob Dixon. It ran late last mega team race we had, and Dixon left early, so we weren't able to get those. So hopefully tonight we'll have the factoids courtesy of Mr. Bob Dixon.
Did you just see that? Gary Mingus went right next to the wall. There they go. They're wrecking. And Slocum's involved in it. Mark Paglia.
Oh, Javier Negron with a late hit.
Okay, I didn't know if you lost me there, so you didn't say nothing.
Nope, I was taking in some of the other drivers that were involved.
Whoa,
with like two of the Dark
Garrett's
Horse
around
machines.
on the backstretch up here.
Oh, look out! He almost got clobbered by Javier Negron. Donnie was 10th crossing the line, so not sure what happened to him.
I'm looking at Donnie right now because I'm. Oh wow, Donnie. Okay, you're gonna have to call the Donnie one on that one because I would be biased on that one.
We'll take a look first at what brought out the caution.
Look around Slocum in the team machine.
Yeah, Slocum. It looks like Perry Bond actually 73.
It was someone in front of him, I believe.
Yep.
And Slocum got involved in it.
Oh, Slocum might have bumped the 73 down.
All I know is I saw 2 go sideways. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yep, 2 of the I'm on Fire machines collected up in that one.
But Paglia already had damage.
Correct.
I mean, and he's still going, so I don't think it was that bad for Paglia.
Yeah, looks like maybe a late bump into turn 1. Trying to figure out which one of the Factoids cars that is. That's the 243 of John Burgoyne involved, and I think actually that's taken him out of the race. There's Stephen Morrison. Bottom of your screen, you saw the 72 number of Negron. And then let's take a look and see What happened with Donnie Garrett, who almost got hit by Perry
yeah.
Vaughn?
I'll let you call that one because I don't want to keep my own horn on that one.
Oh, it just looks like he comes down. Palmer's already there. Looked like it was a difference of the upshift to fourth gear. I think Donnie upshifted to fourth gear sooner than the car in front of him and had that run and tried to go low with it, and Palmer was already to the inside. And that loses Donnie Garrett a lot of track position because, as mentioned, he was 10th on that restart, and scoring right now has him mired back in 23rd.
And I do want to point out Alex Moe is up here, and in front of him is Ken Roberts and Greg Palmer. But you got to go a little bit further up to find Grant Wesley, who seems to have been doing pretty decently up near the front the whole race, it seems like. So, kudos to Grant for not being involved in anything, but Seminara leading at this point in time. How's your mentality moving forward about this, knowing that almost every team has had an issue here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Garrett and Mingus, who have been involved in incidents for Shake and Bake.
Heiser.
But that's who I meant. I'm sorry. Heiser, correction. Thank you. Appreciate that. Got the wrong name. You've got Breedlove that's been involved in something for the Team Good Wrench. And
Twice, but it wasn't his fault.
Yep. And then you've also got
Palmer.
now Paglia and Slocum that have been involved in something for the I'm on Fire Pontiacs.
Well, remember Rodney got turned up near the front, didn't he, at one point? And he about wrecked, and
he did save it though.
Yeah, and then he lost all that momentum. So that put him back, and then you had Ken Roberts had that slight hit on his right front. I don't know if that actually caused him any damage or not, based on that one wreck we saw when that occurred. Palmer ran into someone that came flying down in front of him from being in the air, remember? Off of turn 3 and 4. Right. So everyone seems to have at least some type of damage, except for, I want to go out on one here, Alex Moe. I mean, we're talking about people who are contending at this point. I have not seen Alex Moe in any issues whatsoever. I have not seen Jeffrey Elliott have really any issues.
Seminara, despite the bumper grab, he really hasn't been involved in anything.
And there was one other person that I was... Yeah, we're talking about Mingus. Mingus has made some weird moves, but there's no damage. There's no... I haven't seen anything iffy unless we go back to when he was way up against the wall. But that was, I honestly think, people being slow in front of him, and he knew what was going to happen. That's why he moved out of the way so he wouldn't run over anyone.
Let's see if the lights go out this time, and if they do, nope, they're going to stay on. So we're going to be closing in on 10 laps to go, and I know we're talking about the team championship. That's the ultimate goal, but there's a checkered flag still on the line, and look at some of the names we've got up here of teams that may not necessarily be in the conversation for the team championship, but they could still finish it out with a win. Yep,
Toby's up here.
Bob Dixon's up here.
Outlaw.
Brandstetter.
Outlaw on the 11 machine.
Yeah. Garland Oates is up here. Garland actually, if I recall correctly, over in PRL, he picked up his first win in quite a number of years, week and a half ago. So he'd love to go back to victory lane.
You know what I think? I think Randy Wall wants to have that one redemption factor based on what happened earlier on to him. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, you've got.
He was up near the front. He almost won the heat race earlier.
Yes, he did. You got a couple of the Hellcat Dodges up there, actually, with Denny Carroll there as well. Denny, I think, maybe I'm thinking of the one that you're talking about with Randy Well, but I think Denny Carroll finished in the top 3 or 4 in a heat race, too, was also in the conversation for one. One thing, though, we were talking about teams all getting themselves organized up in the early going. There's not really a whole lot of opportunity for organization, at least right now with the drivers up here towards the front. You've got the 2 Hellcat Dodges kitty corner, but everybody else has to look quite a ways around to find somebody to work with. I guess you got both the Chrome NWO cars there, kitty corner as well. But there's going to have to be some finagling going on here to get lined back up on this restart.
Yeah, no kidding. The team's going to get themselves sort of back together with people who are able to be at full speed and whatnot. But Seth, I got whispered a moment ago by the leader, Seminara, and he just gave me a little information that I didn't even know about. Get this, he said that last lap or two, he's good on fuel. And I said, yeah, I thought y'all were going to be good on fuel regardless, based on, the previous caution and whatnot. He's like, no, it was tight. It just changed to none.
Oh, wow.
So how about that for you? I don't know if anyone else is in that same position as Bob was, but there's some food for thought now.
And that's interesting and important for him, with him being the leader here, because we know he'd be using up the most fuel being out creating the draft for everybody else. So if he's good to make it on fuel with this, that would more than likely mean everybody else is able to make it as well. Also, I want to give a little bit of a shout out here. You mentioned about him diving onto pit road with teammates to find each other. I think Alex Moe might be on a first name basis after this race with all his pit crew. He's coming into pit road a total of 10 times so far here tonight, and somehow he's restarting up there in the 14th position. I can't say somehow. We've seen him do this before.
Well, Seth, I hate always giving away people's strategies. Like, hell, I'm good on fuel. No, I'm halfway off short. But I mean, in real NASCAR, that's what the broadcast.
They can listen in. They got the scanners there, for heaven's sakes. They can listen in on everybody.
Yeah, we got people here who are actually probably racing that are listening to the race as we were doing this, like Balcom used to do. Remember that? Robert Balcom
I do
was
remember
always
that.
listening. So it's like, yeah,
we were his crew chief.
I knew what. I remember Balcom always saying, yeah, I heard you guys say that so-and-so was a little bit slow or doing this, doing that, so I took advantage. It was like, yeah, Robert has a little sneak peek of what's going on with everyone.
We break the fourth wall. All right, 10-lap shootout to finish this thing out. We'll have 29 drivers still running. They're all in the lead lap.
10-lap shootout to finish this out. Yeah, bar none from a caution.
That's true. That is true. Also, I think, well, there's no lap down cars. We're probably looking at a target lap of 42 or 43, where it'd be the point of no return. So we're only about 5 laps away from that. We've worked 5 yellow flags so far here in.
Whoa, they're wrecking back here.
Oh, that's gonna. That's gonna trigger the caution back, and oh no, whoa! No, we're going green. It didn't bring the yellow out. We're back green flag racing. Wow! I can't believe that didn't wave off the green flag flying. They're still trying to get going back here.
Donnie was around. I saw him go around, but I don't know what in the world happened. Black Chevrolet, good wrench machines up here, Seth. We got a purple one of Jeffrey Elliott up here. We've got Grant Wesley up here. We got, I don't know if Alex Moe was involved in there or not, but then you got Seminaire here trying to play blocker.
Steven Brandstetter making a move up there on the top with help from Grant Wesley. Trying to get it done for the Factoids team.
Back here, we've got Breedlove. I'll let you know where Breedlove crosses in a second here.
Brandstetter about to be put in the sucker hole. He's in the middle going to the back as Wesley moves up to the top with Sullins, Elliott, Roberts, and others. Meanwhile, Bob Seminara committed to the bottom with help from the Hellcat Dodges of Denny Carroll and Randy Waugh.
Breedlove just got 19th. 17th is Josh Slocum at this moment running. And then you got the good wrench cars up at the top side, 3 of them. You got one which is on the bottom of the Hellfire, or I'm on fire Pontiacs here, which is a 0 of Alex Moe. Jeffrey Elliott trying to get something done here on this high side, but he's got the 33 machine of Rodney Sullins and Grant Wesley in front of him. But if anyone's going to figure out what they're going to do, they got to figure that out within the next, 4 laps, Seth? Or is it 5 laps based on the end of the race regarding a caution coming out?
I would say coming to the line here the next 4 laps. And also bear in mind, when we restarted, it was with 10 to go. All cautions prior to that were frozen field. All cautions now are raced back. So we look up here at the front and see a lot of these drivers running well. If they're involved in a wreck, drivers behind could race through, pick up all those spots, and end up finishing inside of the top 5, top 10 with damaged machines under caution.
And I do want to point something out, too. Something that we really need to acknowledge for a moment. I know it's not Roman Reigns.
I was going to make the reference. I wanted to.
I know. I had a feeling you were going to do something. But we've seen wrecks and cautions. We've seen wrecks coming to the restart like we just saw there. We've had a lot of incidents tonight. So you know what's going to happen after this race. That instant report's
Lot
going
of
to shake
reviewing.
things up.
Bob Seminara seems to still feel the inside line's the best line to run. Outside line led by Grant Wesley trying to make something happen. He's gotten alongside of Randy Waugh for third place. And might get to the right rear quarter panel of Denny Carroll down the back straightaway. Seminara now going to move up to the outside line to block that momentum.
Slocum getting a bump back here for one of the factoid machines. He's running in 15th at this point. I'm trying to focus on the big title picture here. I mean, I know we don't even know what's going on with the title, but just looking at this point.
It looks like Blaine Donlin and Mark Paglia are so far off the pace, they've actually been coming to pit road when the leaders are going to catch them to stay out of the way.
The purple machine up there forcing himself in the middle a little bit.
Jeffrey Elliott making a move up there as well on Rodney Sullins.
But you notice, like we were talking about how the line is being on the very bottom, coming up a little bit more, trying to fight for that specific position on track. If you come up too much, you're going to open up that bottom, and it's going to be a bad thing to happen. Don't you agree, Seth?
Absolutely. We've seen them try to hold it double wide right between those white hash marks. There's not a lot of room to be able to do that. We've also got traffic coming up ahead. Remember that incident we had, the stack up on the restart that didn't bring out a yellow? The two Dark Horse Mustangs of Robert Jackson, Adam Simonic, not that far up ahead. We'll see if they come into play.
Hello. Slow come.
Yikes! And that was nearly friendly fire with him and Alex Moe.
Alex Moe tried to get up real quick. I don't know what was going on with that. Third lane coming.
And we are at the point of return. We just crossed point of return, so next flag ends the race. Whether we see the white flag for them to race around one more time, or the caution comes out, ending the race under yellow. Seminara might be a sitting duck here because look at the three black Goodrun Chevrolets they're lined up. If they get clear of the inside line, they might dive low. They might try and go to the third lane. We'll see what happens here. Palmer's not clear yet, so they probably won't make a move until he is. There's Blaine Donlin.
Here we go. Here we go. They're catching them. What they going to do? Where is all the moves going to come, Seth?
You got the 10.
3 wide back here.
You got the 13 up ahead. I believe also the 203, of Mike Mangialardi not that far up ahead. A lot of traffic for the leaders to have to deal with here in the closing stages.
You need to get yourself sorted real quick because 3 wide is not a good idea when you're coming up on lap traffic.
Jeffrey Elliott now on the inside line there, trying to get up there to help his teammate Seminara, who's waiting to see what move does Rodney Sullins try to make. Sullins has won this event before, won the very first one, trying to get a second one.
Okay. They passed a lot of cars, all the way back there, Seth. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of iffy here. We got 3 good wrench machines. Oh, there goes Greg getting knocked out of line.
Little contact there. He gets kicked up to the third lane.
Yep, and they're really tight down here. I don't know, Seth. They might end up having a little bit too aggressiveness.
Team Goodrun Chevrolets, they went without any incident points in the last Mega Team event to pick up their second team championship, and now they're looking to go back-to-back with 3 of their cars up inside of the top 5.
Point 2, diving to the bottom, looking for something.
Oh, we got the apron, though, and he's got very little help. Not sure how that's going to work. He's going to tuck back in line. Here comes Elliott shooting low. He's got help from Garland Oaks. A couple of Toyotas working together.
I'm on fire cars on the high side, Seth. 2 of them back here, and a slow come couple cars back. They're trying to get something hooked up, but they don't have enough time. I do not believe. I think Slocum has a little bit too much damage.
You just cannot wait because right here an incident could happen. You only have a few hundred feet
we
to
almost
start
had
finish
it
line.
right there with Jeffrey Elliott in the 71 machine.
Oh, they're pinching each other there too.
Yeah.
Garland Oaks and Denny Carroll almost got together. We're at 2 to go.
Grant looking up under Jeffrey. Jeffrey trying to defend that line. That's really iffy now. Now he's got no choice but to let Grant do it.
And Denny Carroll going to move down there with him. We saw Grant Wesley, Alex Moe finish 1-2 together at Michigan in one of the heat races. Now they're nose to tail trying to get up to the front, counter the Team Goodrun Chevrolets, but they just don't have the numbers. Here comes Jeffrey Elliott now to help them.
Jeffrey wanting to try to do what he can and get those 2 purple machines close as they can.
If you're Bob Seminara, how much defense are you going to be playing here coming to the white flag? You got 3 Goodrun Chevrolets that you know are going to work together to try to get around him.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, there's a machine there, guys.
Idling engine up ahead. That's Mark Paglia in the 3. They might catch him on this last lap.
Whoa, Jeffrey.
Oh, look into the bottom is Rodney Sullins. Seminaire going to cover both the middle and the inside line. Look at him run that white hash mark. Which lines he take here on the back straightaway, though?
They're going to slingshot it up there in a minute, so they're trying to get out of line. That's what Seminaire's got to do. Seminaire's got to play defense at this point, trying to manipulate both lanes at the same time. Cause them to make a mistake. You know what I mean, Seth?
He's got Palmer now stuck side by side with Denny Carroll, so now it's only a 2v1. The Goodwrench Chevrolets against Seminaire. Sullins looks high, looks low. Seminaire goes to cover. Oh, there goes Ken Roberts! Into the air. Caution will come out, but to the line. It's going to be Bob Seminara picking up the win in the main event. And now the big question, Jess, is with Roberts having the issue, we got to wait to see where he crosses the line in. Does that counter Mark Paglia's issue in the dogfight between Team Goodwrench and Team I'm on Fire? Because I believe 3 of the I'm on Fire cars finished in the top 10.
How long does it take them to go through all the incidents?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't think we'll get the incident report tonight.
Hey, how about we end the broadcast and then we'll alert like 4 or 5 people and then they'll come see us and do an interview.
We'll have the longest please stay tuned in history, and then we'll come back like tomorrow evening. We've got the report.
Yeah, we won't be over on this side for a while, so when we come back to do broadcasting over here again, unless Andrew does it before we do, then, you know, they'll let you know who won.
So the question here as well, and we'll be showing the full finisher results in just a second. You're seeing it actually scrolling on the top of your screen, but Bob Seminara picks up the win. We talked about Shake and Bake kind of in that conversation as well. Jeffrey Elliott gets 5th. Now, I know the other 2 cars didn't fare as well. Heiser 16th and Donnie Garrett in 23rd, but with winning the race, does Seminara help get Shake and Bake potentially this championship? I mean, I think it's going to be really close between those 3 teams.
Well, I mean, we look at this. Alex Moe Slocum, 9th and 10th, right? Grant Wesley, 6th. Yeah, I'm on Fire Team, right?
Yep.
And then you got, up there, like you were saying, you got Seminara winning the race, and I don't know who led the most laps.
Most laps led was Seminara, 18 circuits out in front. Also, I just noticed, we'll go back here after Seminara's burnouts and look, but not only did Ken Roberts get involved in that wreck, but Robert Breedlove finished 19th. So that could potentially hurt Team Goodwrench in terms of their head-to-head
Yeah, but
with
didn't they all lead
I'm
a
on
lap,
Fire.
though? Didn't the whole team lead a lap, though?
Good question. Let me check. Breedlove did not. Ken Roberts did not.
Okay.
Rodney led 5, and Greg did not lead a lap. Rodney was the only one of the team that led a lap.
Okay, well, what about the other teams? So we know Grant led.
Grant led 4. Moe Slocum did not lead a lap, and Paglia did not lead a lap. So only one driver of each respective team led a lap there. For Shake and Bake,
yeah.
Seminara led 18, Jeffrey Elliott led 1, Gary Heiser and Donnie Garrett did not lead.
Well, we're back to square one.
Yeah, it's a toss-up, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, I'm looking at the fact that Paglia finished 28, and then you've got like you were mentioning as well, Breedlove finishing 19.
And Roberts finishing last car, or no, not last car. He finished 20th.
By the way, real quick, Bob Dixon, when does he do his factoids with us?
After our interviews. Unless we want to do them now. We could do them now.
I mean, we got a lot to think about here.
I'm fine with
Are we
doing
wanting
them
to do
now.
the top 3, or are we just wanting to do Bob Seminara, Rodney Sullins, and Greg Palmer together, and then Garland by himself, or what?
No, we could do the top 3, but you know, it's a good idea. Let's get the factoids now, and then we'll do the driver interviews.
All right, I will be right back, Seth.
Okay.
I'm going to go up there and ask. I'm going to go up there real quick and ask Bob if he's got it ready.
Okay. So we'll take a look here at the finishing
Buddy
results
left
as
your
Jess is
channel.
taking care of that. And of course, as well, we kind of documented where the drivers finished laps led in terms of what we dubbed the potential 3 main contenders for the team championship: Shake and Bake, Team Goodwrench, and the I'm on Fire Pontiacs. But you take a look at the rest of the finisher results here as well. Garland Oaks, great run for him in the 4th position. Bob Dixon, Toby Roberson out of the NWO stable, 7th and 8th. Mo and Slocum sneak up into the top 10 again, kind of shades of what they did in the last Mega Team event, main event race. Steven Brandstetter, good run for him, just outside the top 10 there in 11th.
All right, got him.
We got him? All right, so as we take a look here at the rest of the Fisher results, let's get those factoids from Mr. Bob Dixon.
All right, thank you so much there, Seth and Jess for doing all the recording tonight. Here we go. Top 5 fastest laps of the night. Honorable mention was Javier Negron. In 5th place was Josh Slocum. Josh did a 47.953 second lap. That's 199.696 mile per hour, lap 47. 4th was Mark Paglia. Pags did a 47.946 second lap. That's 199.725 mile per hour, lap 16. 3rd was the Factoids man, Bob Dixon. I did a 47.884 second lap. That's 199.984 mile per hour, lap 46. 2nd was Toby Roberson. Toby did a 47.880 second lap. That's 200.000, lot of O's there, lap 46. And the fastest lap of the night goes to Gary Mingus Among Us. Gary did a 47.767 second lap. That's 200.473 mile per hour, lap 46. And the most laps led was Bob Seminara. Congrats on your win, Bob. He led 18 laps. Denny Carroll, 6. Rodney Sullins, 5. Grant Wesley, 4. Gary Mingus, 4. Bob Dixon, 3. Ulysses Sandoval, 3. Cabana Man, 1. Steve Brandstetter, 1. Kelly Causey, 1. And Jeffrey Elliott, 1. And that's your factoids for the night. Appreciate the work you guys did tonight. It was great.
Great racing here tonight as well. Bob, we appreciate your factoids as always. Congratulations on the top 10 run here tonight as well. Great performance for you, as well as working there with your teammate Toby Roberson. A great way to cap off the evening. Congratulations.
Yep. Hey, thank you so much. Y'all take care. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Always appreciate Bob Dixon stopping by, giving us those factoids, especially when it comes to super speedway racing, because you never know who's going to get that fastest lap. Mingus, as he mentioned, got the fastest lap, finished in 17th, but over 200 mile per hour lap time, getting that fastest lap of the evening. All right, let's work our way up the podium. He started the evening out with a victory in the heat race at Freedom Motorsports Park. He's going to finish 3rd place here tonight for potentially the team champions, but we don't know. There's a lot of question marks. Let's see if we got a hold of Greg Palmer. Greg, you got us?
I got you. What's up?
Well, I'll tell you, it kind of looked like in the closing stages, things were looking really good for the Team Good Run Chevrolet. You had all 3 of you lined up there, trying to plan out a move on Seminara to maybe take this thing 1, 2, 3 to the checkered flag, but then that contact in the closing stages, there only 2. You finish up inside of the top 3. Now, obviously, huge in terms of gaining you guys some good points with the podium finishes. But what do you think with looking over the landscape? Where do you think you guys are at? Have you defended your title? Do you think?
No, we did not defend our title. No way. From the accident me and Rodney were involved in I think it was California. No, sorry. Yeah, California. Yeah, from then on, I mean, then Homestead 9th and 10th, and yeah, we couldn't make up ground. Like you said, there's 3 of us there going to the checkers, and there was contact, and 2 out of the 3 made it across there, 2nd and 3rd. So I'll take it. It was a good night. Too many yellows, but had a good time.
Of course, we have to wait for that incident report. You never know what that could end up doing in terms of who's positioned where. You talk about the yellow flags, and obviously a number of them, some big wrecks involving drivers that were on teams that we were kind of looking at as contenders for the team championship heading into this main event, but also just the timing of them as well, mixing things up in terms of pit strategy. All of you guys qualified up there towards the front at the initial start, but then a couple of the early yellows put you mid-pack and in some pretty precarious situations. How difficult was that here tonight, kind of balancing the security of fuel, but also kind of being back in the eye of the storm?
Yeah, I mean, for a while we were in the eye of the storm. Yeah, we try to do fuel mileage. It's just getting caught up in other people's mistakes. That's what cost us, I think, tonight. Breedlove got caught. I got caught. I got flipped over, but luckily I didn't have that much damage. But you never know what's going to happen with the plate races. You never know.
Always
Honestly,
unpredictable
that
for
was the
sure.
best thing I ever saw was someone land right in front of Palmer after that crap that Palmer pulled on me on Thursday. Hey, yeah, you can get in front of me. Yeah, okay, thank you. Well, you let me in front of you because you want me to shout you out and talk nice about you. And then all of a sudden, he just freaking darts. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, all right, we'll see. I'll remember that. Yeah, good. Someone lands right in front of him upside down. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Oh God, thank you. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy until it's time to go. Then I'm gone.
Well, they say that nice guys finish last, but you finished third here tonight, so I don't know. I don't know if that's
He can't
factually
be. He
correct.
can't be. He can't be a nice guy because of where he
hmm
finished at.
But Greg, congratulations on the great run here tonight to close this out. Obviously, the victory to begin the evening as well at Freedom Motorsports Park, and yeah, we'll look forward along with you to see the
Oh,
fallout and
real
everything
quick.
as to. Oh, yeah,
Real quick. How many wins does Alex have, and how many wins does Greg have now overall?
they're now tied
See, there you go.
I'm tied with who?
with Alex. You both have five heat wins. Well, 5 wins
Wow.
overall because you have the main event win here at Talladega Night Super Speedway as well.
So all-time list is what we're saying. Like how many wins overall? Like
Yep.
he's got 200 whatever. You and Alex are tied with 5.
Oh, cool. Hey, I wasn't keeping track, but thank you for keeping track for me.
Yeah, it's our job. Your job is just
No,
to drive
I
the car.
keep track because of Alex. It has nothing to do with you.
I thought so.
Well, Greg, congratulations on capping the evening off with the podium finish. For one final time, we'll give you the opportunity for thank you, sponsors, and shoutouts.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Jess. Love you. You guys are great in the booth, like all the time. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to the admins. Rodney for painting all these cars, especially the Good Wrench Chevrolet Camaros. My teammates, of course, Rodney, Ken, Mr. Breedlove tonight. We had a good time. It was fun, and hopefully, I know this is the last mega under Talladega Nights, but most likely it'll be under Full Throttle. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Well, I will say this, Greg. It was good to see that Chris Elliott was here, you were here, Rodney was here, because we know lately, it's been been a little bit difficult lately with everyone's health and whatnot moving forward now. So it was good to see you, Chris, and like I said, Rodney all together at one time.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Greg Palmer, third place here this evening to cap off a wild one at Talladega Night Super Speedway. Once again, congratulations on the great run, and we look forward to seeing if maybe 3-time champions here with the Black Goodwrench Chevrolet team.
Thanks, Seth. Thanks, Jess.
User was moved
Let's see if we
out
can
of
dial
your
up his
channel.
teammate here tonight as well. Another driver that has formerly won the Mega Team main
User was
event
moved to your
at Talladega
channel.
Night Super Speedway this evening. He gets second place. Rodney, you got a copy?
I do. How's it going?
Well, I'll ask you because it was really looking like Team Goodwrench had things pretty well in order there. You had 3 of you lined up. You had Seminara fending for himself. What little more did you need to be able to get around him there? He was playing some pretty good defense. Was it a case of you wanted to win the thing, but you didn't want to have your team cars involved in a wreck there as you guys are fighting for the overall title? Or was he just playing good enough defense, you just couldn't get enough momentum to make a move?
Well, I told him that I was going to go high, fake high and go low. And then that's what I did. And then Bob went down there and did a good block. And I knew at that point I was done and they would probably have a run to go around. And I guess we were close. I went back and I looked at it, and I could tell that me and Ken were basically in the low lane, and Denny was in the first part of the second lane. And I guess me and Ken kind of bumper hooked there. I didn't go up. That was my cue that I wasn't winning when Bob got, because I didn't want to turn Bob. When he come down, I don't know if I still could have kept a nose under him or not, but I wasn't going to turn him. I don't know. I've looked at it, and I hate it for Ken. I know he's pretty dang mad at me. Is what it is. I was behind Bob. I mean, I didn't go up, but I don't know what happened. When he touched me, it turned my car a little bit right, or when we got together, my car moved a little right. And it's just hard, tight racing, and I hate it for him. I mean, I'd rather it have been me. But anyway, it is what it is, I guess.
Now, we can only kind of guesstimate based off of what we see in terms of finisher results and everything. We have to wait, of course, for the incident report and all that fallout. But we had three teams that we kind of singled out here coming into the main event that looked like they had a shot at this thing. Your team, the Good Wrench Chevrolets. We also had the Shake and Bake Purple Toyotas. And we also had the I'm on Fire Pontiac Trans Ams. With the second and third place that the two of you were able to get here, you and Palmer, we talked moments ago with Palmer. He's not exactly certain you guys have defended your titles. What do you think? Do you think you guys were able to defend the titles? Because it seemed like of all the three teams I just named, there was a driver or two that really ran into some issues and seemed pretty even down the line in terms of the good finish to the bad finish.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I caused when I got loose at California and caused that wreck, that hurt us tremendously in the points. And then I guess this one here, knocking Ken out of the way. So wasn't a very fun night for me, I guess. But I don't think we're going to defend it. Probably mainly due to me.
Well, great way to end out the evening, though. Second place performance. As mentioned, you're a former winner of this main event as well. So some good numbers here at Talladega Nights Super Speedway. And capping it off with a solid podium finish. Congratulations on the great run, Rodney. We'll give you the opportunity here for thank you sponsors and shout-outs.
Yeah, I obviously want to thank you guys, you and Jess. I can't wait to go back and watch. Well, kind of. It's been a rough night, but I'll still enjoy the broadcast. I know it'll be a good one. Jeffrey, Elliott, Chris Elliott, all the admins here. My teammates tonight, Ken, Greg, Robert. Sorry I let you fellas down. Y'all did everything we needed to, and I didn't hold up my end, but I thank y'all for letting me race with you on Team Good Wrench. But any friends and family I've got watching, Black Rifle Coffee's always with me. And thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
I just don't know why, out of all his talent, out of every single body that's here, you have to put Greg on your team. Really?
Well,
you have to invite him all the time, or is he just the comedy relief because it's Greg?
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to race with. He's a great racer. He's a good friend. We race together, actually, on any other races that we go to, not just team events. But he was already on this team, and I was going to be on it last time, but when they won it, and I wasn't able to, so I got back on it for this one. And yeah, he's a character. He's a good teammate though, and I appreciate him and Ken and. Well, all the BSR guys, the Burnt Screwdriver Racing guys, I appreciate them, but some of them weren't on the team tonight. Looks like Pennzoil, Kelly, them guys had a rough night. But yeah, Team I'm on Fire, and the other one I don't know. I know I'm on Fire seemed like up front all night long, so I think it may be theirs to win. I don't know.
Well, Rodney, congratulations on the run-rip finish to cap off the evening, and we look forward to finding out what the point standings are after the incident report and everything, along with you. We'll see if you guys are able to defend that title, be three-time champions with the Team Good Run Chevrolets.
Copy that. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
User was
Rodney
moved
Sullivan
out of your
second
channel.
place. Let's see if we dial up the race winner. Back-to-back wins for Shake and Bake, the brand new team put together. We saw Jeffrey Elliott get the first heat victory, and then the main event checkered flag picked up by Bob Seminara. See if we can get a
User was
hold of
moved
him
to
here.
your
Bob,
channel.
Jess and Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got us?
User was moved out of your channel.
Hanging around.
User was moved to your channel. Moved out of your channel. User was moved to your
Whoa,
channel.
I just
you got
had
me?
to.
We got
I
you.
just had to.
There's a gremlin on the line.
What's going on up there?
Well, Bob, I mean, a great way to cap off the evening here. This team just put together with Shake and Bake. We saw the momentum kind of really shift for the team, really at California, with a couple of the drivers finishing inside of the top five. Jeffrey gets the win at Homestead, and then you put the cherry on top with the victory here at Talladega Nights Super Speedway. We were kind of leading up to the midway portion of the heat races, only looking at a two-horse race, and then your team enters into the vicinity. What do you think? Do you think your checkered flag here in this super speedway main event might be enough to get this team just formulated its first team championship?
Yeah, I hope so. I really didn't see the finishing order. I think Jeffrey was up there in the top 10, but I don't know where the other guys were. But yeah, we're definitely going for it there.
You had your hands full there in the closing stages as well. It was just you and then three of the Team Goodrun Chevrolets lined up behind. You had to probably, I would assume, be looking in the rearview mirror a lot more than you were looking out the windshield, but you threw some really good blocks there. How were you able to keep them at bay?
Oh yeah, I saw who was back there. I knew that I thought they were going to gang up on me. I was watching. I didn't want to let them under me, and I didn't want to give them too much room to go on the high side. Yeah, I was doing the best I could. I did that little gamble there with I think 20 to go. The top 8 pitted, and I stayed out and got my track position, and a couple of quick cautions there helped, and yeah, I was able to hold those guys off.
Yeah, just talked about the fact that she got the intel from you that you were just able to have enough fuel to get to the end. Those cautions putting you in the window to get to the checkered flag. Uh, with the cautions here tonight, the timing of them really kind of messing with a lot of pit strategy. We saw a lot of drivers that were up at the front fall to mid pack. We had a lot of those big wrecks take place, one of them right up at the front of the field. And then on the hindsight, we ended up also having some drivers that ran mid-pack rear of the field on pit strategy find themselves up at the front in the closing stages. With the number of the yellows we had, and especially with where a couple of those cautions took place, how difficult was it to balance out strategy here?
Yeah, it was kind of difficult because those quick yellows, and you didn't want to give up too much track position because there were a lot of cars, and I think I did that the one time, and I may have come in and topped off, but I lucked out and missed a couple of wrecks there. It was a really close racing, so I was fortunate to miss a few.
Jess pointed out the fact that we're so used to seeing you in the previous events driving one of those NWO Chrome machines, and here tonight on a different team. Does that change like the racing style, or is there a difference in dynamic when you're on a different team than what you've been on in the past? Because I know during the driver introductions you weren't all that gung ho about being in a Toyota Camry here tonight.
Yeah, I don't like Toyotas. So, but no, the paint job was cool and everything. But yeah, once you get going, you're just running hard, trying to do your thing. But yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I don't like Toyota. I like my Chevy.
Now, you might like this Toyota because you got it parked in victory lane here tonight. Congratulations on the job well done there, Bob, being able to hold them off, pick up the victory here. Your first victory, I believe, in the mega team race that we've covered here on FRN. So, congratulations on that. We'll let you get back to your celebrating here in a moment, but for now, we're handing the microphone over to you for victory lane. Thank you, sponsors, and shoutouts.
Yeah, thank you, Seth and Jess. Yeah, shake and bake. Thanks to Jeffrey for inviting me out here and all the guys, Dixon and everybody that puts it on, all the hard work and the good racers. I always have fun. Mobs Motors, FTMF, and LC and Q. And we'll be at Rolling Thunder Thursday night. Giddy up.
Absolutely. That's Bob Seminara. Caps off the evening with a checkered flag and the big main event at Talladega Nights Super Speedway. Only time will tell if that might give Team Shake and Bake the team championship here in the last mega team event under the Talladega Nights banner. Bob, congratulations on the great run. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
So tonight we ended up having 4
channel.
different drivers
User
go
was
to
moved
victory
to your
lane.
channel.
We had
User
3
was
different
moved out of your
drivers.
channel. User disconnected to your
I
channel.
couldn't help it. He eventually got mad.
We had 3 different drivers win the heat races, an entirely different driver win the main event. That wasn't I just looked back to see that was Bob Seminara's first checkered flag in the mega team events that we have covered here. And this now brings a close to a chapter, Jess. As we mentioned, there's going to be many mega events that are going to be taking place under the new banner at Full Throttle Racing starting in the middle of December. But it's the last time that the mega team event will be run under the Talladega Nights Super Speedway banner. And, we talk about a lot of first times, a lot of last times, a lot of special events. And there seems to be a little bit of added gravity of drivers wanting to win those type of events. It's a toss up. I don't think we're going to be able to make a call here this evening on who it was between Shake and Bake, I'm on Fire, and Goodwrench as to who's winning this team championship. But when the eventual announcement comes out, how much more do you think winning the final team championship under Talladega Nights, that's been around for a number of seasons, a number of years, is going to mean to those eventual champion 4 drivers?
And it's gonna mean something. I mean, it probably meant a lot more to them last time, thinking, "Hey, I won the last one," and all of a sudden they pull this one out based on popular demand. So this extra one pops up. So I don't know. Would you say that the last ones were actually the last ones, and this is just the extra last one or something? I don't know how you want to word that, but
Yeah, it might be pretty equal.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, if it's the same team, then it's kind of hands down. But still, yeah, this race was pretty epic. Where you didn't expect to see him go too insane, but yet the aggression was there the whole race, 3 wide constantly. They had a little bit of everything: wrecks, pit strategy, strategic teamwork regarding, like, for example, the I'm on Fire guys. They were in the back. I mean, things that we saw develop that we had not seen develop prior. You know what I mean? Well, especially with the I'm on Fire guys, we never saw that they all kept pitting to be together, especially like that. But I mean, who knows what this will have moving forward in store for that new series that you're talking about, the mini series that's coming up. So if anything is an indication of a repeat, we might be in store for something fun too.
Absolutely. And again, just to remind everybody too, we kind of did our best to try and document who we thought were going to be the front runners as far as the teams. There could have been another team out there that doesn't get any incident points on them and ends up having decent enough finishes that they end up winning the whole thing. So it's, we're not automatically giving the team championship to one of the 3 teams that we've named off. There could be an underlying team that still has a shot at this thing, but we'll have to wait and find out. You alluded to it, and I'll just one final time let everybody know that while this is the final mega team race that we will be broadcasting here on FRN under the Talladega Nights banner, they are moving over to a new moniker at Full Throttle Racing, and we will be broadcasting races for them starting in the middle of December. I believe it is starting on Friday night, December 13th. They will be starting the Callahan Auto Parts Truck Series. We will be on an alternate broadcast schedule along with Blaine Donlin and Rod Weston over at Tarnation TV. And then on Saturday nights, I believe that is starting December 14th, we will be bringing you coverage of the mini team events, which will see 2 heat races and a main event at Talladega Nights Super Speedway, kind of a little bit of an expedited version of what you've seen us bring you coverage of here with this race and the previous mega team events. We will be on an alternating broadcasting schedule on that one as well with Andrew Miller over at Top Dragster Network. So I hope you guys will join us 13th, 14th, middle of December when all of that kicks off here on FRN. You also heard Seminara allude to next time we will see you will be this upcoming Thursday night as we continue on the playoffs for the 63rd season of the Rolling Thunder Gaming Talladega Challenge Series, beginning the round of 8 playoff race number 3. So be sure to join us for that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Jess, we've covered now 5 of these mega team events. Granted, they've got a little bit shorter in the last couple of ones with instead of running the 8 heat races, we're running the 4 heat races, but they always keep us guessing. The racing is always continually really good, whether it's the heat races or the main event, and they always put on a show here, and I appreciate you joining me in the booth for yet another one.
Absolutely, and looking forward to also being part of the mini series that you've got coming up, with Andrew Miller, Andrew Alma, however you want to say it, because everyone knows him as Andrew Miller, or Andrew Ogman, or that 47 guy.
The only thing I call him is the guy that showboated against me in bowling.
So I'm guessing takeover is imminent.
No, the man literally, I met him in Hershey this past summer. We went bowling. He threw a ball backwards, got a gutter ball, and then said, "Huh, I wonder if I can pick up this spare." Threw I think it was like a 12-pound ball down the lane and got the spare. So, yeah, that's the only memory I have burned in my brain of him right now.
It's alright. We'll figure out more crap to mess with him moving forward. We know we got plenty of time with him. So anyway, but yeah, with him and us going back and forth, switching off and on, I'm hoping to be available to help call those races coming up. So looking forward to that. Also trying to finish out RTG season. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that. And I don't know if we got any more events coming up. I mean, we haven't announced any special exhibition races based on the current unfortunate issues that we've been facing. I don't know if RLM is back up or not, though.
I believe RLM is in the process of being back up. I know a lot of different series are still running. I have seen some problems here and there that people have been having. I don't know if it's completely fully up, but I think it's progressing to
Yeah, it's
being fully up.
It's a work in progress,
Yeah.
and when we get like notifications that it's fully up, then we'll talk about our NNSCRA exhibition fundraisers moving forward. We'll get to that when that happens. But other than that, I don't think we got anything coming up. Otherwise, watching you on your NNSCRA homepage, on YouTube, try to not make a complete fool of yourself for Monday and actually go for something, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of difficult to do. But yeah, appreciate everybody that tuned into our coverage here tonight. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Always great racing here at Talladega Nights. Sorry to see the Talladega Nights banner go, but looking forward to seeing what the future
Sorry we
holds.
can't give you guys the winners of the championship
Yeah.
either right now.
Yep. But who knows? Maybe if we're doing the first of the mini team event in December, if you tune in, maybe we'll give you the scoop on what the results were from this one, from that. But thanks once again to everybody for tuning into our coverage here tonight. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Until the next time we see you, for Jessica Shelton, I'm Seth Cole. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of FRN, the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your